Welcome into the Canister Podcast, episode number 289, baby. Fueled by First Form.
Yoink. Yeah.
My lips are a little chapped.
Don't even get me started on what's going on with my lips right now.
What do you mean? I only want to know about your lips.
Oh, fuck.
What's happening with your lips?
Well, whenever you go on a vacay, man, I haven't seen the sun in, I feel like 2 years. I don't know why. I've never really been out in the sun much. And you go down there to the Bahamas where we were, and the sun rocked me, and I felt a little tingling in my fucking mouth.
God.
And I got this goddamn cold sore.
No.
Yeah. It happened at the end. I went on a group with 50 people.
Dude, there's a lot of people. I saw the group photo.
Yeah.
It looked like a lot of our listeners, like senior class of like their high school.
Well, they're
dude.
50.
No. I'm not talking about the age.
Oh.
I'm talking about how many people. You know, like a class picture?
Oh, yeah.
That's what it looked like.
They wanted to do pictures and
all
stuff
girls
like that.
school, though, because I just saw the girls' photo.
Yeah, it was, what was the place? Goddamn, Baja Mar. Pretty cool, but
Vegas vibe to it from what I saw.
Did you see that pool party?
Well, I'm seeing this pool. There's a lot of people.
A lot of thongs going on. I told Kate, I go, why don't you wear a thong? She's like, I don't want to do it in front of our group. But I'm like, everybody else is just shaking ass.
Were the other girls in the group, were they wearing a thong?
Yeah, they started tightening it up at the end of the day.
Yeah, you always got to bring one.
Yeah, I know.
I think in addition, because you just never know when you're going to throw that on.
We had a really good time. You know who I hung out with? To pronounce his last name, he's a part owner of Kraken. Peter Bertel. He's a big lawyer. Yeah, Browdy. Peter Browdy.
Does he live in St. Louis?
No, he lives in Toronto, man. He's like the biggest lawyer.
Because there's like a Vegas lawyer. Like the lawyer for the Vegas Golden Knights. I randomly met him. He lives here in St. Louis, which is just kind of strange.
Me and him connected. I talked to him for a long time.
Really?
He does not look like a lawyer. Like, he's huge. Looks like a football player.
Really?
But he's a huge, big time lawyer. Part owner of the Kraken. Just talked to him. Shot the shit, man. It was cool. It was a good time.
So we'll give him a shout out.
Shout out.
What's his name?
His last
Dude,
God
come
damn it.
on.
I'm just
you're dropping the ball on this.
Browdy. Peter Browdy.
Peter Browdy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
totally cool.
So who do you say is getting the job as the head coach?
He had some names thrown out there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of names. Well, there's a lot of guys available.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I asked him about Dean. I don't think, or I'm sorry. Dean Evanson was out there, but who we interviewed the other day? Todd
McClellan. Yeah.
Todd McClellan. I don't want to speak for him because we were fucking chilling in the pool. I don't want to fucking.
I'm sure all the other owners and the GM.
I don't know.
They appreciate him telling.
Turn that off.
Well, I can't. It's a very busy day today.
Turn that off.
Very busy day today.
Yeah, it is. Drew Bannister, all that stuff.
So anyway, this is I get this at Whole Foods, Cam. This is the peppermint flavor. If I just want to give my little Stricky product of the week, it's a organic peppermint flavored chapstick.
Dude, because I'm so dehydrated.
Well, you may need some of that.
I'm so dehydrated.
And I would never share this with you. When you consider what's growing on your lip right now.
No, I looked it up and I'm like, what the fuck starts these things? They're the most horrific thing ever.
It's herpes, dude. We talked about it last week. It never went away, dude.
Never
you
went
had
away
it as a kid, and
never
now
went away.
It's shown its...
And I'm like, well, why? It hasn't happened in like 12 years. It's like, why now?
Mm-hmm.
Dehydration, in the sun for a long time, off the bat.
That has nothing to do with it.
Dude, look it up.
Sun has nothing to do with that.
Yes, it does.
No.
You want to bet?
Dude,
you want to bet?
I hate to tell you where
I want to bet?
To break it to you.
What?
Where you got it.
My wife?
Well, I'm just saying, dude.
No, she doesn't get any of them.
No, well, she might. Well, she does now. You'll give it to her,
How
dude.
did she not get it? I'm surprised her whole fucking body doesn't have this on it.
Oh, my God.
I know. It happened at the end.
Really?
Thank God, because I felt it. I'm like, motherfucker. Then you're around 50 people at the same time, like, aye. But I always go on these vacations, man. We have such a good time.
It had a very Vegas vibe to it.
You're creeping out Kate's Instagram.
Well, a little bit. I was.
Yeah.
Cam's like to his wife, why don't you wear a thong?
No, I know.
You should have a thong on.
No,
dude.
the couple of the girls,
So
I'm like, you guys should all be wearing thongs. They're all cool, dude. The coolest group of people ever.
Was it?
A lot of fucking hard, police officers.
Was the Seattle lawyer in your group?
Yeah.
Oh, he's from here. Are you? He met you there?
My buddy's like, hey, they're friends. My buddy and him are friends. They met down in Cabo, where all the wealthy people down there hang out.
Got it.
The cool place at Cabo. They meet up, and so he called him up like, hey, get down here, man. This is my wife's 50th, blah, blah, blah. He fucking flies right down with his wife. Cool as shit. Talk hockey with him.
So they hung out with you guys
Hung out the whole time.
All week.
The whole time, yeah. Really cool stuff. We had a blast, dude. And then I got a cold sore.
Dude.
And then I got a goddamn cold sore. Can you see it? It's not bad. It's a little bit.
All those Insta models, dude. They're talking about you.
I know.
They're like, look at that guy. Look at that cold sore.
No, this is
no.
No.
They're seeing it. No, they know.
Listen,
they know.
I'm so open about shit.
Yeah.
Like I'll bring shit up. Andy had a fucking cold sore the other day, and I brought it up, and he's like, no, it's not. No, it was.
I didn't have a cold sore.
You did.
No, I had
No. Yes, you did.
I had a infection, like a sinus infection.
You had the same thing I have on your lip 3 months ago, and I chirped you for
a long time ago.
Yeah, but you still had it.
Like
so
maybe a couple years ago.
Okay, well, whatever. You still had it. It's all good. I watched a lot of hockey down there too.
Did you?
That's the coolest thing. The group was all hockey fans. We're all chilling, watching the games, doing our stuff. It's pretty cool watching hockey
in the Bahamas.
Kind of in the Bahamas. It was kind of a cool vibe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
A lot of hockey people go down to the Bahamas.
They do.
I saw some. I'm still dealing. Fans. Oh, did you?
Big time. They're messaging me down there because Kate posted. I guess they follow my wife. And because I didn't post anything. And they're like, dude, we're down here too. So I met up with them, said hey to them and stuff like that. Pretty cool.
Where were they staying?
Fuck, I don't know. I didn't go to the room.
Oh, my God.
In the same area, you know. But anyway.
The Leafs, dude. I'm like so over the Leafs that I don't even know if we should like not talk about the Leafs on this edition.
There's so much.
I
don't even know how to start. Like between Mitchie Marnie. He's a god.
Dude, what do you think when he said that? Listen, can I explain real quick?
Well, you asked me a question, now I answer because you do that a lot. Here, I'll explain. Like,
yeah.
When he said, he should have, like, when you say, they treat us like we're God. And he should have been like, wait, I meant like we're blah, blah, blah.
He's not smart enough, dude.
No, he thinks he's a god.
That's
the problem. They all do.
They treat us like we're God, to be honest.
Well, they all think that. I mean, that's a sign.
Part of the issue.
No shit. You know, Nylander comes out with no shirt on. He's got his earrings. He's like, I had a headache. You know, it just was the optics of that kind of stuff is so bizarre. They just think, I don't know. They think too highly of themselves. I feel. And it all catches up with you.
They're built up on such a pedestal, and the media is just obsessed with these guys, dude. They are absolutely obsessed with the Toronto Maple Leafs to the point where some people, they just can't stop talking about the Maple Leafs, everything they do. So this team to me felt a little bit different. I got to be honest with you. It's the same ending. The story ended the same way. Nothing's changed. But for them to be the team to battle back to force a Game 7 had me look at the team slightly differently. You know, they went back to Joseph Woll. He can't stay healthy, man. I love Joe Woll. I've known this kid for a long time. St. Louis kid. I want him to be, you know, to get that opportunity just to be the guy and run with it.
Yeah.
Because I think he's the best goalie in the organization, but he can't stay healthy. He keeps getting hurt. It's like you take this team to Game 7. Now you're not available in Game 7, man. I don't know if it was the same injury he was dealing with before, you know, if he suffered the re-injured it, but
I tell you what,
dude,
though,
it is what it is, man. They didn't collapse, dude. They came back without Matthews in the lineup, dude. I mean, there's something to be said for that. But at the end of the day, they just couldn't get it done, and it's how the game ended, right? With the final play of Mitchie Marnie just kind of like
lackadaisical,
you know, and Nylander, who didn't even like move on the.
I know.
I know that wasn't his guy technically, but still, he wasn't even like moving his feet. He's just standing there.
You know who's cool? Who's different than the superstars in the Leafs? David Pastrnak. Yeah, I know. He needed to get called out by Monty. He didn't give a shit. Goes out there, gets called out, went out there in that hell of a game. Not to mention, Pasta reverse hits guys. Like, he fucking plays mean. Like, he digs in the corner. Like, he'll hit you in the corner. You come at him. He'll act like he doesn't see you. He'll stick his ass out and put you down. Scores big-time goals. That was a set play. Beautiful. Like, there's just little things that Pasta does that Mitchie Marnie and fucking Nylander and those kind of guys just don't do.
But see, listen, we can focus on Mitch Marner and Nylander all night long. But the reality is this roster has never been built for success in the playoffs anyway. It just doesn't work. And that's why they're asking questions to John Tavares, who to me is just...
Oh, God.
He brings nothing.
Nothing.
I know he's a good player.
We were this close. To what?
I'm just talking. His presence as a captain, it just doesn't do it for me.
I know.
Like, I don't feel like he's very inspiring. I don't think he's a, kind of like what your definition of what you would want from a guy to truly, put the team on his back and to be the leader of that group. He just doesn't scream it. You know what I mean? I like him. I think he's had a hell of a career. He's a really good player. But when they're asking him, hey, do you want to resign here? Like, why is that even being brought up? No. So the way the roster's been built, we've known this forever. You've got all these forwards making all the money. Their defense is not NHL caliber. It certainly isn't at the caliber to win in the Stanley Cup playoffs. They don't have goaltending that you can win with in the Stanley Cup playoffs. We don't know about Joseph Woll. He can't stay healthy. So we don't know. But he hasn't shown the ability to stay healthy. So Samsonov, obviously, he's been the guy. They had, Matt Murray before that. They have guys who can't get the job done. So they got all the money in one position tied up in 4 players. And collectively, those 4 guys, it just doesn't work that way, man. They're not good enough to get it done. They haven't been in any of the previous years. It wasn't going to change now. They've got to move on, not just from specific guys, but in terms of how they make up this roster if they want to advance and move forward. Because I don't care who you bring in, man. The way that it's built right now, it's just not spread out enough, man. You got to spread the wealth, Cam, and you got to have some players on the back end who can get it done too.
Yeah. Well, actually, but they're interesting in a way where people are watching them. Like the game 6 was like the most viewed game. And
dude, I get into it too. I'm guilty of it too. We're talking about them right now.
You got ex-players fucking yelling and screaming at these guys. Like, it's interesting. And I think it's more interesting is when they lose, to be honest with you.
100%.
It just sets the firestorm going. And, but it's true though. Like they're kind of just, they dominate so much in the regular season. And then, you see different things. I mean, Mitch Marner's making a ton of money. Like, he needs to take games over, dude. Nylander did. He did. You got to give him credit. He scored 2 goals. Like, he was all over the place. But Mitch Marner, maybe he'll do something cute. Maybe he'll put it between his legs. But he doesn't for a fucking...
But you know what?
Making that much, take the game over like a Nathan McKinnon would. Maybe a Connor McDavid. Of course, Draisaitl and whatnot. I don't know.
But these guys are in like fantasy land, man. To even think that you're a god, they treat you like you're a god. You want to know how you become a god in Toronto? You win a Stanley Cup. That's how you become a god.
Right.
You want to be treated like a god. You want to be looked upon like a god.
Hey, gods don't lose.
Then you got to win, man, in the playoffs. And you don't ever win. You guys have won 1 round. So they treat the first round like it's the Stanley Cup, to be honest with you. I mean, everyone's so into this game. It's like, if they would have won Game 7, it's like, oh, they've arrived.
We were this close.
All it does is get them to the second round. You got to win spanked. 3 more rounds. Okay, last year you get to the second round. They might as well have had a parade, dude. You got all these guys, some of the highest paid players in the game, and they can't even win a round. Yet when they do win a round, they celebrate these guys like they just won the cup. You want to be a god? You want people to treat you like a god, look at you like a god, and want to know what it feels like to be treated like a god? Because you're just a product of the environment, man. They ain't got nothing else going on there. Toronto's a beautiful city. It's a great place, but they worship the sport. You play for the Maple Leafs, so they're going to worship you, but you want to be treated like a god? Then you know what? You got to win championships, dude. You guys aren't even close, man.
They probably think winning a championship's after the second round. They don't even realize there's 2 other rounds.
After the first round.
Well, they've gotten to the second round and they didn't win. So they're probably like, one more and
we're
probably
know.
Good. I don't think
we were this close.
We should let them know there's 4 rounds.
How close were they?
They were pretty close. They were really close. Not at all. I can't even believe he said that. Like, that's the answer you're getting from your captain. Like, man, we just... we took it to Game 7. We were this close.
I don't want
to what?
I don't want to chirp the head coach's speech prior to Game 7, but at the same time, it was just like, take a deep breath, guys. Just relax. Go out there and have fun. It's just like, dude,
fuck that.
I would challenge the shit out of these guys,
man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Like, are you good enough to get this done? You know what I mean? Like, you got a lot.
You want to get ridiculed for the next 4 months? Are you out of your fucking mind? You better go win.
And so now Sheldon Keefe, listen, no official announcement yet, but I think most people realize that it's probably over for him. We'll see what happens with Shanahan. I don't really know at this point how you keep Shanahan. I like Shanahan,
He's a
but
good dude.
he doesn't play for the team. They play nothing like him.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I know.
He is a winner.
That's a good point right there.
He is a winner.
He is a winner.
Like,
man.
he's a guy who you want.
They play nothing like
Brendan Shanahan.
Him,
it's like you got Brendan Shanahan as the guy who's running the organization, and the team has like zero reflection of Brendan Shanahan. And, Sheldon Keefe, listen, even when he was a player, man, back in the day, he was part of the Quinty Four, part of the whole David Frost thing, man. He had some like bite to his personality and all of that too, man. And now
his brother does.
His brother just fucking destroys guys.
Shit. I'd hire his brother as a head coach.
So
Adam Keefe.
The team just has no reflection. And I will say,
they play nothing like Shanahan.
They play nothing like Shanahan.
True words. I've never been spoken.
I actually like the addition of Max Domi. I thought he was okay, man.
I thought he was pretty good.
Bertuzzi, he's fine.
In the playoffs, he was better than he was in the regular season. Like, you could see where he could like mix in his physicality, kind of get under guys' skin and stuff.
Ryan
like
Reeves, he's just aged out, man, and it's hard for him to really.
He hit a couple guys.
No, he did, but it's hard for him to truly like have the impact that he probably once did earlier in his career. He's no different, man. Like,
hey, anyway, enough about the fucking Leafs. So like, it's over. Everybody's
go get some defensemen.
Go figure it out. Figure something out. Actually, fucking do something to kind of change. Just you have to change the mindset in that locker room somehow. Just somehow find a way to get some veteran guys that don't cost money that could kind of turn around. You got guys going out there with their fucking earrings in. And
who cares about that?
No, it just looks so corny. Whatever. Like, this isn't an NBA. Those guys look fucking cool as shit. NFL, these guys, your two fucking leaders, come out. And it just looks fucking corny.
With their hoop earrings?
Their hoop earrings, like, I got a headache. I can't tell you what my injury is. The whole thing's fucked.
I was sick.
The whole fucking thing
I
is
was
fucked.
really sick.
I was really sick. Oh, what?
Say what
I
it
was so fucking sick. Like, there's so many guys that were so sick.
What was it?
Food poisoning last fucking 12 hours. What was it? Come on. And even if food poisoning, dude, sometimes you gotta suck it up.
I know, but like
whatever. No, man.
But
all that.
Nylander
him missing games, all collectively, it just everything about it was fucked up.
Maybe he had COVID.
Okay, COVID again. Fucking guys are playing with COVID left and right. Jesus Christ.
Hey, but Nylander, they said he had migraines, but I was told that it was a concussion.
All right,
he might. So that has to be what it is. They should just say that.
Smiling. Yeah, say it then.
Just say you had a concussion.
My head's fucked up.
So they said the migraines, like he didn't have vision and stuff like that.
Okay.
I know, man.
And listen,
well, you know what?
You play long enough, man. You got migraines.
And I
get it.
I don't get migraines, so I can't put myself.
You did when I hit you.
In his case,
you did when Chaser hit you.
Yeah.
You did when Bobby Plager hit you.
Well, all dirty hits.
Not Bobby's. How dare you speak of him like that?
No, that was a badge of honor.
It was a badge of honor. The other two were kind of dirty.
Very dirty.
We still love you.
Nylander, even like Nylander at 70% is probably better than the option you're putting in the lineup anyway. You know what I mean?
I know. Like, sometimes you got to think that way too. Like, maybe my vision's a little blurry, but fuck, I can still get there. I can still do things.
Maybe Joseph Woll was hurt before Game 6. I don't know.
That's another thing. Like, damn.
But like, damn it, all their like most important players.
That's what I mean by the collapse. Like, that kind of was all.
They like couldn't make it through an entire series, dude. They couldn't play an entire, except for Marner, whose like game really isn't necessarily built
not at all
for the playoffs. But if you have him surrounded by players who can play in the playoffs, maybe it creates space for him to do his thing, like, and maybe he's a better player because of it. Like, let me ask you this, dude. If you're a GM out there, are you staying away from Mitch Marner?
How much? What is he going to want?
Well, what's he at right now? It's 10.9.
He's going to want 11. He's going to want Matthews' money. No way.
I don't know.
I would.
Yeah, he's never even gotten to 100 points now. Now everybody gets to 100 points. He would have gotten there this past year if he didn't get hurt.
He plays like a $7.5 million player in the playoffs. And that's a big factor.
7.5. He had 3 points.
He still made plays to this thing.
No, I know. When he has the puck, dude, you expect something good to happen.
He's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, but he's going to want so much money. He dominates throughout the regular season, but fuck. It's just different. Like, Pasta figures it out.
Yeah,
like,
but Pasta didn't, dude.
I know, but he did then. But then he did.
It worked out. He
worked out. He's the one that fucking did it. He made a nice little move.
It was a hell of a move. And he's a difference maker. What'd you think of Monty calling him out?
I liked it.
You did?
Of course.
I thought it was a risky move.
Fuck that, dude. You got it. No, he wasn't there, and he reacted to it the right way.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything like, well, I did do that. No, he's just like, no, I don't mind that.
Let me throw this out there because, and Monty knows his players certainly way better than you or I do. So I don't know, like, maybe he already called him into his office and talked to him privately anyway.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
I mean, maybe he's already had that talk. And maybe he's like, I know how Pasta is, dude. If I call him out publicly, this is going to light a fire under his ass.
That's the right kind of guy.
But I would have been like, hey, listen, this guy is one of the best players in the league. We got a Game 7, and I expect him to have his best game of the series coming up in Game 7. And maybe behind the scenes be like, you got to fucking step it up,
That's fine,
dude.
too.
You know what I mean?
That's fine, too.
So when you say it publicly, I think it caught some people off guard, like, whoa, wow, man. Here's a guy as a coach who, for the second year in a row, had a 3-1 lead and is now in a Game 7, who's feeling the heat. Because I thought Monty, man, listen, I'm so happy for Monty because I thought if he lost Game 7, he's probably out.
Yeah.
This guy looks so uncomfortable behind the bench, Cam. I mean, he's red-faced. You look at him in that, press conference that he had after Game 6. He's jittery. He's moving along. He did not look composed at all. He lacked a little bit of confidence. They were making some lineup changes, tinkering with the lineup after going up 3-1 that obviously didn't necessarily play out in his favor just based on winning and losing the game. So he had to be thinking of what had taken place the year before. I can't imagine what was going through his mind, knowing that if he loses the game, he's probably done, which doesn't make sense for a guy who had a historic season last year, won the Jack Adams, probably did a better job this season coaching in the regular season than he did last year, considering some of the guys who are no longer here, man.
But
he was going to be out.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I thought that he just looked so uncomfortable and almost like the moment was creating some.
You're looking at it from
anxiety
from your
for him,
TV,
dude.
and you're evaluating him because his face is red. Like, okay, but you don't know what he's saying internally, how he's reacting with the guys.
It just looked like it, dude.
I get you, but that only goes so far.
And then how he handled the press conference, it was just interesting, man.
It worked.
I know him. So I know when he's.
Okay. Then there it is.
No, I'm just saying.
Well,
you've seen him do press conferences millions of times. You know when he's confident, Monty, and he's calm and cool,
millions
Monty.
Of times.
Versus, he's done a lot of press conferences.
All his press conferences you've seen in Dallas.
Well, dude, how many times have you seen him talk? He's always he's to the point, dude. He's very direct.
Well, that was a high-tension, fucking hardcore situation.
And he's probably losing his mind.
No
dude.
shit. Your big boy's not going, and you got him going. So I get what you're saying, man. And we love Monty. We're rooting for him, too. But they figured out a way. Like,
so now my whole point here is that winning that game now has allowed them to kind of reset, take a deep breath. And
they win last night.
Now they go in, and that was their game to win, to be honest with
dude.
you. Florida has been sitting. Around. This is Boston's game to win.
It'll be a long
and
series.
Florida can win on the road too. So this is going to be interesting. But that was huge for Boston to be able to get out in front on that series.
Nice to see another Game 7 too. Dallas and Vegas. That was a fun game, man. Kate was sick. She drank too much. She was on the boat with all her girlfriends. Sunburned as all shit. She stayed there. I'm like, you know what? My buddy, everybody's scattered everywhere. I'm like, I'm going to go to a bar by myself.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I ordered a bunch of fucking mussels. Like I was craving seafood. I ordered a bunch of drinks. I sat and I watched this. And there was a ton of hockey fans there just watching the game. I sat by myself, watched the whole game. That Game 7 was fantastic.
Yeah.
Vegas, good God, you fucked up. Man, the chances you had, Eichel, all those guys, God, just this close.
Yeah.
And Dallas fucking figures it out. Pete DeBoer, he was a great coach, man. A little intimidating sometimes. He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, doesn't really yell much, always has a game plan. Wins another Game 7. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Tits Magoo in the background. All it put together. Good for Dallas. I like Jamie Benn as well. Mm-hmm. I like that team.
I like that Wyatt Johnston too, man.
I do know. I know.
I mean, they got him 23rd overall in the draft. That's a hell of a draft pick. He's creative. He's responsible. He plays the game the right way.
Yeah, he does.
He was reversing guys too.
I saw that, dude.
It's like, damn.
But that's what you do.
Was he like 20, 21 years old?
Yeah, man. Don't let somebody get a fucking grade A hit on you when you could stick your ass out and put it right in their sternum.
They've got a combination of everything, man. Dallas is my favorite team to watch right now, dude.
Pretty fun.
They're fun to watch. I mean, I love watching Florida. The Rangers are like sneaky good in terms of like, I don't know who's taking them down, to
That's
be
going to be a good
honest.
series.
You know?
This is all good hockey, dude.
All
Second
the teams left are so
fantastic.
good. And you got Colorado still in the mix now too. So I don't know. It's going to be a hell of a run here the rest of the way, but I love that Dallas team, man. For them to come back against that team after being down 2-0 says a lot about who they are. So.
No, I know.
I asked the question the other day, dude. Who's the top American-born goaltender in the league right now, dude? I mean, you got Swayman, you got Ottinger, you got Demko, you got Hellebuck, dude.
A lot of them.
They got a lot of these guys.
Swayman's got a cool attitude, man. Even like during the national anthem, he's like,
he's loose.
He's finding his groove on.
Alaska
He'll make a big save, and he kind of just has this kind of like swag to him.
Yeah.
Comes up big at the end.
He's laughing. He's smiling when he gives the puck to the referee.
Yeah,
he's loose,
he seems cool. Like he seems like, fuck, I'm in my groove right now. I like it.
Yeah.
I do. So,
but the reason why I was bringing up Monty, like he was so close to getting fired, most likely, is that like I think the Blues were kind of monitoring that situation. They had to have been monitoring.
That's why they signed Bannister today.
And so I think another guy they probably had some interest in was that college coach.
What's going to happen in
David Carl?
What's going to happen in Canada? It's nice to have a Canadian series go toe to toe like that. Vancouver, Edmonton. We'll see what happens there. I don't know. I don't know if Vancouver can handle the two big boys, man.
Oh, apologize to the people for coming out late today.
Yeah, that's my fault. Sorry about that. It didn't work out, man. I had things to do. We're going on like boats and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Oh, I gotta wait. Andy wants to do it at 12:30. Then Andy's like, I got stuff with Ty, Cam. I don't know what time I'm gonna do it. I'm like, fuck this, dude. We're gonna go another day. Just extend it a day. Mm-hmm. The fans will be okay. But I can't cater to you while I'm on vacation. Well, spending this kind of money.
Cam's like, oh, the Wi-Fi is not very good.
No, fuck that.
Cam always has a Wi-Fi
No,
issue.
the Wi-Fi was fine. I just didn't want to do it, to be honest with you.
Did you watch the Tom Brady roast?
Yeah, I watched some of it.
Some of it?
Okay, what, am I supposed to watch the whole thing?
You didn't watch the whole thing?
I know what's what on it. There's some people that were funny. There's some people that weren't funny.
Who was funny?
In fact...
You like Jeff Ross?
God, yeah.
What's his background? Yeah. What's his background?
Straight comedian, dude. I don't know. He's fucking hardcore. Nikki Glazier's okay. She got some praise. She's a St. Louis girl.
We're going to have her on, dude.
I give her a little shout out. She was cool.
You okay if she comes on and sits
Kim Kardashian.
You okay if she comes on and sits in with us? I think she might. I interviewed her during a game.
She's cool.
Remember?
Kim Kardashian's a fucking weirdo. Her little dress was like... And then she's just kind of like, I think it was so tight. One boob was bigger than the other. And she's just kind of like, Then she tries to go up there and be funny. Not funny at all. There was some good roasting.
I thought she looked great, dude.
Of course she did. Everybody looks great. No, she just
Nikki looked actually pretty good.
She always looks good. She's tall. She's intimidating.
It's hard for some people to look at women that way when they're like a comedian.
I know. Yeah, and usually.
And they're like raunchy.
There's not too many girl comedians that I think are funny. There's not too many men that I think
She did a pretty good job.
She did a damn good job.
Kevin Hart did a great job.
He sucks.
Oh, really?
Fuck yeah. Kevin Hart doesn't make me laugh at all.
He doesn't?
Nope. There's a bunch of guys, man, that make me laugh. He ain't one of them.
So Nikki Glazer, if you remember, I went viral when I had her on during the game. Cam. Okay. So I know her, and I'm thinking maybe she'll come in and sit in with us.
She was good. But it was all right. They were chirping.
I thought
Giselle.
I thought Julian Edelman did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he did good. He did a good job.
What about Gronk?
I don't remember. I don't want to break down the whole thing. Anyway,
well, Cam, I'm just giving you. You
said
just
ain't that big deal.
I mean, this is why you got to watch it. I'm talking about
being homesick because we got goddamn EF5 tornadoes, fucking murdering people left and right in the Midwest. I was a little bit worried about that. We're gonna get shit on.
Did you hear those tornado sirens overnight?
Fuck yeah, baby!
At 4 in the morning.
Sleep. I got cold sores going on. I'm going to be on camera for 3 hours. I'm supposed to go tomorrow to fucking Cape Girardeau for something and talk to people for 3 hours.
You're going to have to get out of that.
I got to get out of that. I got things growing on my face. I'm sunburned, hungover as shit. Had to have a couple beers a day just to level out a little bit.
Really?
Then last night I got goddamn tornado sirens going on. All I want to do is get a good night's sleep. Man, oh man.
Cam.
God, Oklahoma got rocked again. Monsters, dude. Crazy. I told all you guys this. And he's like, you don't know what's going on. I go, there's going to be tornadoes out the ass this fucking spring. And what's going on now? There's going to be more now, too. And they're going to start hitting St. Louis again. Mm-hmm. But Oklahoma got rocked by monster tornadoes. They debarked all the trees in these towns, dude.
Who did?
The tornado did.
Oh.
Debarked a tree, you know what that means?
It means all the bark comes off.
When you see a monster fucking oak tree, and then all of a sudden a tornado hits, it's all debarked, and it looks like a point at the end. That's how strong it is.
Really?
Yeah, it was curving metal signs. Took sop steins and curved them up around trees. Get on with yourself. goddamn, hardcore shit going on. I told you guys this was going to happen. There's a lot more
Cam,
to
everyone knew that, dude.
Okay, everyone knew. You didn't.
Everyone knew
You're the one that rebutted me.
You think you're like the weatherman?
Yes, I do.
Every weatherman knew that.
You didn't even know about weather until you met me.
They were expelled. That's not true.
Bullshit.
I had a weather radio.
You're one-dimensional.
I had a weather radio.
One-dimensional. Now Andy's into everything. Like, whoa, I like steak. I like this. No, you don't. You do it because I do it. It's all good.
You see any sharks down there?
No.
Stingrays?
No, I didn't really
Jellyfish?
go into the ocean, man.
Really?
No, we're sitting at pools.
Oh my God, this sounds like a terrible vacation.
Dude, me and...
Cold sores, sunburn, 50 people, busy bar, very expensive, ocean.
No, the ocean's right there. Beauty.
Absolutely beautiful. This guy goes out of town for 2 or 3 days. Like, I'm worn out.
Worn out, man. I'm worn. Because Andy goes vacation with his family. I go to Partyville. It's a big difference. We're out all night. We're doing shit. I'm getting dragged in 50 directions. Andy goes to Cape fucking Cod, and he's like, look what I'm doing. You're sitting with your family at a place. I'm literally fucking partying. We couldn't drink enough. We had to get to our limit at bars, and we have to take
you
fucking
get your
bottles
mind
of booze
right
like
out
this.
there?
Yes.
Yes,
I did.
How'd you do that?
Oh, dude. Anywhere I go, especially out of town, the locals look at me, and they just know. And they come right up and like, hey. I'm like, I know, I got you on that. There's a couple.
You go into a Bohemian jail, dude, you're done. You'll never get out.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with stuff. Like,
because I'm going to Mexico next week.
You could do whatever down there, dude. Go to the pharmacy down there if you want to get whatever you need.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Isn't it like?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Well, I know what the pharmacia is. Okay,
if
you're wanting to go get like
weed, smoke weed there. I don't give a shit. Mexico. I wouldn't do coke. I'll tell you that right now. All y'all out there, man. I know you're drinking all day. You want to get a pick me up. I wouldn't fucking touch the coke anywhere, dude. Fentanyl out the wazoo. Coke's fucking nasty. Anyway.
They don't.
If you want to go to the pharmacy and get an Adderall, go buy one. They don't
criminalize marijuana
down there
in Mexico.
No. Fuck no. Smoke weed in Mexico, dude.
Really?
I mean, don't take it across the border.
Well,
but if you're sitting down on your fucking porch looking over the beauty and you're smoking a joint, no one's going to care.
Well, I know nobody would care. I didn't know what the...
Well, are you selling it?
No, they throw you in jail there, dude.
I would fuck... That's why I don't like going out of the country.
They throw you in jail and you'll
Bahamas,
never get out. You saw what happened to Brittany, dude.
That's in Russia,
Did
dude.
you see her first interview?
My point is, when you go to these places like that, though, you do have to be careful, man. Because those guys, A, we're going to rip you off on things. B, the locals that want to sell you this shit.
At the market.
Because I know you're all wasted. You want to get pick me up. They want to sell you that blow, dude. You don't know what's in that. I wouldn't fuck with that, dude. I would not mess with that. It's a different game now. It's a different game. There's fentanyl. There's shit going on. Who knows what those guys fucking step on that bullshit with.
You should tell people not to.
Don't. I am.
That's like, you got to really mean that.
You want to smoke a doobie? If somebody's got weed, you want to take a risk on buying a little bit of, fuck cares. But
is there a risk? That's what I'm asking.
No, because you're not going to overdose smoking weed.
No, not that. Is it a criminal risk?
You always got to...
Will they arrest you for that?
Oh, dude, everybody was smoking down there.
Or is it legal? That's what I'm asking.
I believe it's legal. It is in Bahamas. They don't give a shit.
Not in the Bahamas. I'm talking about in...
Where are we talking about?
Mexico.
Mexico? I wouldn't even go to Mexico.
Cam would get worn out after one day.
Why go across the country, dude? It's such a pain in the ass to go through customs. We had a private plane. We had a plane just like the Blues do. Mm-hmm. The big fucking, it's not like one of those private jets where you said 18 people. We had 50 people. We had to put on a fucking plane that they rented out. Yeah. So it looked like one of the Blues planes. Mm-hmm. And so when you fly in easy, you get on our buses and we're good. But coming back, we had to go through the airport. It was so jam-packed. Some of the people that we're with haven't even flown commercial in their life. And they're like, what is we doing? It was just like flying commercial. We had to wait in line. Although my buddies at the end are like, fuck, they paid off.
Wait a minute.
They'll line up because there was track meets there in Bahamas. Bahamas is tiny. Track meets. There's one airport. It was so packed.
So that's where you had to go through customs in the Bahamas, not when you got here?
No. Leaving to come back to St. Louis, we had to go through the airport. Everybody's like, whoa. We got to go through, just like everybody else did.
But you flew back to the private airport here in St. Louis and just get in your car.
So it was just like flying commercial. Mm-hmm. And it was really weird. And you had to go through all this stuff. The lines were so packed. And we and Kate were last ones. And my buddy goes, hey, Let's go talk to these guys. Went there, gave them a couple $100. They escorted us all the way to the front.
Talk to who?
The people working there.
You gave them a couple hundred. You didn't. I know you didn't. So your buddy did.
No, my buddy did.
He gave them 100.
We walked right up. Everybody else in our group is waiting in line like, what is going on here? And we're just like, and we walked past everybody. They took us right up to the front.
Were you having a panic attack in line? Because I've seen you have one of those before.
Yeah, we were just all worn out, dude.
Like, do I sound nasal? My allergies are
again,
just
when
all
Andy goes
up.
on vacation with his family, it's completely different than going with 50 crazy people that want to spend money, that want to party, and we're all together in this nice resort.
It was
it's
Cam's
a big difference.
senior trip.
No shit with 50-year-old people. But
Cam's senior trip.
Kate and I didn't fight.
No?
We didn't fight one time. Not even close. She got sick one night. The first night, God, the girl's like, and I knew this was going to happen, and this happens to a lot of guys. Like, I'm an animal. I'm 250 pounds.
You're worn out, dude.
I fucking can
That's
drink.
what you are.
I could do things, and I'll get up the next day. If I feel like dog shit, I'll drink fucking first form goddamn electrolytes, like blah, 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 blah. I'll do my push-ups. I'll get going. But Kate, she'll sleep till the cows come home. She's 100 pounds. And she tries to keep up, and some other girls are fucking drinkers. And she's like, I'm going to keep up with them. I'm like, no, chill out. You don't need that shot of tequila. Then a couple days, I had to get her motivated. And one night, I think it was after the pool party, where she didn't wake back up. And that was the night I kind of went around, and I wanted to kind of be by myself a little bit because everybody's in your face. So I just sat at the bar, watched the game.
And what'd she do?
Slept and ordered room service.
This is nighttime.
This is nighttime. So a couple nights, man, she was so worn out. She can't keep up.
So it's not like you weren't like forced to be with the whole group every night.
No, but they were calling me. Like if I'm not somewhere, they're like, where you at?
You had to be there.
Yeah, where you at, dude?
Or you're like, God damn it, I got to answer this call.
I would just put my phone down.
Oh,
I know. God. Andy.
I mean,
I didn't act
Cam.
No.
Cam's worn out, man. This is going to take him a couple of weeks to recover.
When I'm out, like I don't feel it because I don't feel like talking to people at that point. We had the doors open, the breeze was coming in.
So
I'm watching the game.
hockey buddies were part of this crew or anything like that.
A lot of FBI guys, a couple big police officers, and then guys that were just friends of the couple that invited everybody. She invited everybody. You got 20 couples.
Her family
was there too.
On your plane?
They took their own plane. They took their own jet from Minnesota. A couple of them
were
kind of spread out, like her sister and whatnot. You know what I mean? So it was cool. I just don't like leaving the country. I don't like going through customs. I don't like having to deal with that shit. Like, it's just nice. All what we had down in the Bahamas, you could have in Florida.
Hey, Craig Berube, by the way.
Yeah.
I think he's anxiously awaiting to see what happens in Toronto. But I think you can safely assume he could have had the Ottawa job. Probably wants to get paid a lot of money. So safely assume that, and safely assume that New Jersey is very interested, and we'll see where things go.
All right.
They've got a very, very successful owner. I think he's one of the wealthiest owners in the league. Like,
what about Seattle?
I think he wants to stay on the East Coast.
Yeah, but what? Okay. Well, we have Dave Lowry on this episode.
Yes.
Part of Seattle.
Yeah.
What do you think their next move's going to be?
Don't know.
Okay.
They have this guy, Jay Leach, who's also on the staff.
Jay Leach, I play with him.
I don't think...
Leachy?
Yeah, I don't think he's the... he used to be married to Catherine Tappan,
yes,
I believe.
I play with him in Albany.
Yeah.
He was my captain. Great guy.
I don't believe that he is considered like a front runner. But a couple years ago, remember, he was like a big name, and he was like a big hot commodity, like DJ Smith, for example. DJ Smith tried to pump his tires the other day, too. I know people were like giving me trouble about it on Twitter. All the Ottawa fans.
He's like, if he didn't have Twitter, boy.
Cam's like, I need to tweet.
Andy, when do I ever tweet anything?
I need to tweet. I need to read Twitter.
Andy keeps his phone on during a podcast, and he's chirping me. You can't even turn your phone off.
I'm just so worn out from
partying,
from hanging out.
Hanging out with my family in Cape Cod. Andy talked about it for 3 episodes. God awful.
Well, that's
we lost subscribers
because Bruce Cassidy came on. And we had that.
Andy keeps telling about stories about he walked to this place and saw this place.
Spent money here.
Spent money here, and Ty got a little fussy. Talk about that.
Fussy.
Like, good God.
Never said that.
You know what I mean. So, a lot of good hockey, man. I can't wait for round 2. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be good shit.
But getting back to Seattle.
Yeah.
We get into a lot of cool stuff here, by the way, with
Lowry. Big Davey.
His nickname was Pie. I didn't call him Pie. I should have called him
that.
Nah,
because somebody else said that. Like, we'll call him Davey. Big Dave.
Big Dave.
What's up? Big Davey, dude. Davey fought. He fought everybody.
Oh, yeah.
I asked him about fucking Paul Loss. He knew exactly what I was saying.
Right away.
I go, who's he? That fucking underrated shit kicker. Yeah. He goes, oh, Paul Loss. Like, right before I even asked the question, he knew exactly what I was talking about. He's cool, man.
Everyone knew what you were talking about.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We've talked about Paul Loss a lot on this show, about him being one of the most underrated tough guys.
Yeah, we need to get him on.
Let's get him on.
What's he doing? Does he work for Florida or anything? You would think he would.
I don't know.
Remember you talked about how he got his captaincy? Did somebody get sick? Or no, how he started his first game.
He stayed in the lineup or came in the lineup or something.
Yeah. Somebody
got sick and then he never came out.
Never came out. He was supposed to just be kind of like, got called up for something.
Could have happened. Could have happened to Matthews.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit.
He got sick.
Could have happened to you. If somebody just would have got sick, they would have called Andy up and he would have played that one game. Because Andy always says, if only I played one NHL game, I'd be here.
If I would have told you before the series that Nylander would miss 2 games, maybe 3, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And Matthews would miss a couple, would you think like they like fractured their face or
I know.
broke their leg?
Yeah. Car accident.
I'd be like, no. And I'm not downplaying it, dude, because the guys who get migraines, I'm saying, but like that is a tough way to lose your player. One guy got sick.
Do we know what happened? What illness did he have?
He got sick.
But what illness did he have?
Could have been.
Like, you're going to come out and say, dude, I was fucked up.
What's the other term for COVID-19?
Corona?
Yeah, I think he may have had the coronavirus. He couldn't be around anyone.
Put a mask on then. I didn't see a mask.
Would they let you wear one in a game?
I say yes, Andy. I say wear it everywhere, including in the pool when you're swimming.
Marner. Poor Marner.
Mitchie. I'm a god. Treat me like a god.
I mean, they treat us like we're gods around here.
I'm a god. Gods aren't built like you. Gods aren't built like 12-year-old boys, so you know.
Hey,
look at the statues in fucking Greece.
I bought Ty a Marner jersey for Christmas and everything.
You got to burn it now. Just like the
I almost brought it in to hang up today.
He's still entertaining to watch, man. He's just not good in the playoffs.
I want him here in St. Louis.
Okay. For how much? How about we give him $20 million a year?
That's what somebody was saying today. He's going to want to raise off his 10.9.
He is.
I don't know how he's able to negotiate. There's only a handful of players in the league making $11 million.
Yeah.
He's not in that category.
No, he's not.
Like he's been 90 points or more, I think 3 or 4 times in his career.
It's a damn good
And he would have been over 100 this year if he didn't get hurt.
But who cares?
So he's never gotten to
so much.
He's never gotten to 100.
Yeah.
His playoff numbers are absolutely terrible.
Wait, although if you look at his playoff numbers between like the current players on the team, like he's a fucking point per game.
Well, he's up there.
He's a point per game.
Is he?
Yeah. Might be over a point per game.
For his career, you're saying?
Yes.
Certainly.
So it's hard to chirp too much, but he doesn't come up big when you come up big. Like, he just doesn't.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
He doesn't come up big. Just like I said with Pasta. You're like, well, Pasta didn't do it. Well, fuck, he came up big at the biggest time, and he made a sick move, and he called for that fucking bank pass, and he blew Marner's doors off, and he made an unbelievable play at the net. That's what he did. He stepped up. He found a way. Pasternak. And he put a couple guys down on their ass, man. Like little things like that. Him and Marchand were chilling one time, and there's a scrum going on. They look at each other, they fist pump, and they go and they grab a couple guys and rag down. Like, I know that's not that big of a deal, but just the little things like that with your superstar, he's got an edge to him. He's got a playoff edge to him.
Okay, but he was pretty quiet there for...
Yeah, but he figured it out. That's all I'm saying.
And you know what? When they get quiet, people start chirping the roster for Boston. Well, they're not very good. Okay, well, Toronto didn't have Austin Matthews in the lineup. Their defense is like very average.
Yeah.
Unproven goaltenders.
Yike!
I mean, I'm just saying, like, it wasn't like Boston was going up against the Florida Panthers either.
They beat the shit out of Florida last night, man.
Okay, so Mitchie Marnie's...
Go ahead, look at it.
A big shout out to Monty, by the way. Thought you were a little nervous. I didn't know what to think. And now...
he's like, he's had a red face.
Now he's back on top of the world.
He's stressed out, man. There's a lot on the line.
Dude, it's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
He would have been the first coach in the history of sports
to lose 3.
Not just hockey, like NBA, which we follow very closely.
Yeah, WNBA too.
Did you see Caitlin's first game?
Yeah, I actually saw highlights of that. Don't to get distracted.
No, you brought it up.
Don't waste my bad. Damn it, you're right.
Brittany speaking for the first time, very emotional. She let her family. She admitted it. She messed up.
Good. No, I saw that.
I thought that was good of her to say
I did
that.
Too. Actually, we chirp all the time. You're right. I like that.
For her, I was not expecting that answer. I thought she was going to blame Russia.
I know. It's not that big of a deal. But
did she get into Victor Boot at all? Or?
No, but she doesn't even know who that is. But
she was traded for him.
Yeah, she doesn't even know who that is. Okay. She's not thinking about that.
Brittany, who'd you get traded for?
Victor. This Victor guy. Supposed to be a good player.
Okay, so Mitchie Marnie had 3 points in 7 games this year.
Okay.
Cam was talking about prior years. Last year he had 14 points in 11 games.
Yeah, so if you add it all up, I think he's like a
3 goals last year. He's got 11 goals in 57 playoff games.
How many points?
50.
So he's, almost a point a game.
Less than a point per game.
Okay, but more than anybody else in that current roster.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at Austin Matthews. Because Nylander, I thought, was always the guy that was kind of like...
was up there with
I'm having trouble with my phone recently. I don't know what's going on here. All right, Austin Matthews. So his career playoff numbers, he had 4 points in 5 games this year. Total. 11 points in 11 last year.
What's the total?
48 points in 55 games.
See?
Including 23 goals.
I'm just telling you. So it's all good.
It's hard to be a point per game player in the playoffs, dude.
I know. But I feel like and that's fine.
But the best players are.
They are.
Let's look at John Tavares.
Hi, I'm John Tavares. We were really close. Actually, this close into getting to where we need to be. No, you weren't.
John, what's your favorite thing to do in your free time?
I do nothing. God, man, I don't mean to be like it is what it is.
I mean, but he's just like...
God almighty.
Poor Johnny.
He's just like, he just like, yell.
Can I hear you yell?
No, throw something. Show me emotion. Like, take your phone and be like, God damn it, bam, bash it.
Johnny, you just scored the game winner in overtime.
Things are good. God, dude, I just...
Mitchie. Come on, Mitchie, I was pulling for you. I got my kid your jersey.
He didn't figure it out, Andy.
Okay, so John Tavares.
Yeah. Come on, let's go.
2 points in 7 games.
Who doggy?
The captain.
Who doggy?
He's thinking about the next contract.
Oh, yeah. Bam.
Have you thought about your next contract, John?
What do you want, sir? It's funny. Like, we're just fucking...
8 points in 11 games last year.
All right. Total.
He's played 1,100 games in 62 playoff games, dude. Like, he has not played that many playoff games.
I know.
Like, Tarasenko's played like over 100 playoff games.
Probably, yeah. Fuck yeah. Had some big-time goals, big-time plays.
Had a turnover last night on the wall.
The game was over.
Their puck management was terrible. And let me say
this.
They
sit for a week.
Sergei Bobrovsky, I know you've been great. And that Lowry kid who scored that shorty, short side bar down. Hell of a shot, but you got to stop that.
No, I know. Boom, right here, baby.
Come on.
On the right side.
He played at Ohio State. He's a good guy. I like getting to know about those guys.
Yeah.
Brandon Carlo had a baby.
Yeah, I saw that.
They're like a bunch of nice kids over there with the Boston Bruins.
Patty goes, "You fucking pussies."
Who do you say that to?
The old bench. Guys are a bunch of
Florida?
pussies. Yeah. He just knows that
he was out there at the end of the game.
He's just like trolling around.
I liked his answer. They asked him if he was nervous prior to Game 7. He's like, "You're asking the wrong guy. I just go out there and play."
There it is. I like it.
But that's Patty being like, I don't know if I'm going to play 6 minutes or 11 minutes.
I'm just going to go do my thing.
Fuck, whatever.
I'll get the puck off the wall.
They tap me on the shoulder.
I'll get in front.
I'll hit a few guys and get pucks in deep.
Maybe you'll
hang on to pucks.
Someone's going to hit off me and go in.
which happens
all the time because he's big.
Or it hits his skate and bounces right into the slot to somebody.
Trent Frederick. Yeah, but it did.
I know.
No, but he did.
I know.
So don't chirp. No, he was there.
Hey.
He fucking cut it off. It hit his skate.
I hope Patty plays another game.
So do I.
All right, another year. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, so that's what I mean saying.
Yeah. So John Tavares. John, what's your favorite thing to eat, by the way?
Rice.
Bland rice. Nothing on it.
Brown rice. With nothing.
With no seasoning.
With nothing.
Yeah. Okay. 8 points in 11 last year. He had 6 and 7 the year before. The year prior to that, I don't remember, but he had 0 in one game. Must have been hurt.
Yeah.
I think maybe he got sick.
That was concussion.
He got sick. Oh, was he when he got the knee to the
concussion.
face?
Perry concussion.
In the bubble?
Oh, God.
Remember the knee to the face?
Yeah, it was Perry, wasn't it?
Corey Perry.
Wasn't it Corey Perry?
It was.
Jesus Christ.
3 points in 5 games before that.
Yeah, and then our boy, Big Nicky, had to step up to the plate and fight Perry and stuff like that, right?
Nick Foligno.
Yeah, Nick Foligno. What did I say?
Nicky. That's good.
Yeah, Nicky Boy Foligno.
Yeah.
It's our boy.
He's like the best veteran
Yeah.
father figure in the league.
Hey, who do you want to get the #1 pick?
Good question, because the lottery's tonight, the lotto.
Let's go, baby. I'm watching that, Andy.
I kind of want to see...
What do you want?
San Jose, although I think they are kind of a debacle internally.
Do you want Chicago to get it just to have
David Quinn? Like, what was going on there? Like, he got fired. I heard it was a terrible experience. He did not enjoy the experience at all.
Oh, no. How can you?
But I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how prepared the team was and all this stuff, dude.
Somebody tweeted out something like, I think maybe it was Curbs. And he's just like, no, I want... They were so dominant for so long.
Yeah,
they did everything right, and they didn't make it to the promised land. So I'm like, I'm rooting for them.
Well, there's a Bay Area connection to Macklin Celebrini.
Okay, whatever. I'm just
saying.
No,
because his dad was a strength coach for the
Seahawks.
No, the Golden State Warriors.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
Like Steph Curry and those guys.
But would you want him to be next to Bedard? I kind of do. Too.
Hell no.
I do a little bit. And
you want to know who's better than both these guys?
I just want to see who.
Gavin McKenna.
Okay.
That 16-year-old who played for Canada in the World Championships, the U18s. Like, he won't be the first overall pick for like 2 years.
Yeah, all right.
Did he have like 20-something points or something?
Yeah, but we're not dealing with him yet.
Dude, he's so good. This guy, like, I think Celebrini's going to be a hell of a player. People try to compare him to Jonathan Taves. I think that's a bad comparison. I know he's responsible and he kind of plays that two-way game, but I think he's closer to Crosby than Taves. And I don't think he'll put up Crosby-type numbers. I'm not saying he's going to have that type of career, but you never know, man. But even his coach, when he came on, remember? He kind of compared him to Crosby.
Jay
Pandolfo.
Yeah.
Like he's more, I think he's got more offense than Taves is what I'm saying. He's not Bedard. Gavin McKenna is going to end up being better than Bedard.
Yeah, but that's not for 2 years.
And I think they're cousins.
I like San Jose because they, again, have been so solid. They did everything right, but they haven't won. But to have Chicago and the drama, the people, fucking Twitter's going to go nuts.
What about
you got these two big boys on a line together? That's kind of cool.
I'll tell you, though, where I don't want them to go.
Anaheim?
Like Carolina. Or not Carolina, Calgary.
Are they in the mix?
They got a percentage chance.
Okay, no. It's
Seattle.
What about?
I don't want them to go to Seattle.
What, Utah?
No. Oh, Utah is going to be better just by being out of Arizona. Just that alone is going to get them about an additional 8 points.
I say San Jose, but Chicago. I just feel like that would to have two superstars like that. Do they deserve it? No. But man, that's such a big market.
No.
Exactly. You should get buried in Columbus. Like I want you to be on the spot. I want you to get Bedard attention. It's good for hockey. Like,
by the way, I know we talked about it, like some of that speculation, but I did talk to some people with Columbus, and John Tortorella is not leaving the Philadelphia Flyers to become the Blue Jackets general manager.
Okay.
Why don't they give it to Rick Nash?
I know. You don't know how. I don't know. You don't know how he is.
Okay, but how much experience do they need? How come playing at the highest level is not considered experience?
It is considered experience. That's why they're there in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But is it enough experience and the right experience to be able to make these kind of fucking
doing it a couple times, man? Get an experienced guy to work underneath him.
Mathematical decisions. Like, there's a lot that goes into it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like, hey, I'm really good. I know how to play. Well,
I know, but I think they made him GM of Hockey Canada for the World Championships and whatever. And people need to understand the World Championships. It's not the NHL.
No, not at all.
And it's not even the Olympics, obviously. So,
yeah, man, a lot of hockey coming up in the second round. I'm excited about it.
Cam's worn out. I don't know if he can make it through.
I don't understand the chirp.
Cam's worn out. He's got herpes on his lips.
Yeah,
that's what you came back with?
Yeah, I know. It's not.
I asked if he brought me back a gift. This is what this guy brings back to the States.
What gift
no wonder he had to go through customs.
What'd you want? Dude, did I say this? God damn it. You know how you have the all the like the booze in your room, that's just there for.
You're not supposed to open that up. Charge you for that.
I opened up a bottle of wine in my room. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm just
400?
It was 200. But it doesn't even look like it's just like there with like.
Was it that good a wine?
I don't even remember.
This guy doesn't remember. Kate's sleeping.
Kate goes to the mini fridge and it picks up like she gets a couple beers. I'm like, she takes one sip of it. You know what I mean? Like I'm like 14.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. That's what 14. My wife.
One sip,
dude. I open my refrigerator.
One sip.
There's like 10 Starbucks in there, dude, with like
one sip.
Hardly anything taken out. Because now she buys Starbucks for my daughters too, dude.
Didn't you order room service? And Kate's like, and pancakes too. I'm like, I think we have. Don't even touch it.
Yeah, but you didn't have to pay for that, I guess.
Yeah, no, all that stuff you pay for our own room stuff.
Did you?
We don't pay for the room.
I know,
but we pay for.
But did you go down and have to? It just wasn't put on your tab on the room charge.
Yeah, it's on my. You have to get our credit card.
You paid for that. Oh, you did.
Yeah, you have
for the incidentals.
Yeah, for sure, dude. They're not picking up everything, man. You know what I mean?
A guy asked Chloe to be her boyfriend.
Oh, that's how old?
13.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Who is he?
Nice kid.
Okay.
Really nice kid.
Keep an eye on him.
I met him.
Be good. I know you're not very intimidating, but if I need to come over there and fucking just talk to the kid a little bit,
I'd like for you to do that, actually.
Just to say hey to him, be nice to him, because you don't want to be a dick, because then he's going to rebel against you. Be cool with him. Actually, the closer you're to him, now Now he's going to respect you more.
Yeah. So we went out Friday night. Had a long weekend, actually, myself.
You must be tired.
And oh my God, I'm glad we didn't do the show yesterday.
No shit.
Because I was tired, dude. For 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, man. I bet.
Wow.
I mean.
I was worn out.
I bet.
I mean, the sun.
We're just partying, dude. Like.
Although the sun will wear you out.
How can you possibly chirp me for that?
I'm not.
You know how I go.
I'm not.
Ain't good.
I'm not. But anyway.
It ain't good.
So she had 2 friends over. And then the door knocks. And she's like, oh, so-and-so's coming over.
Uh-huh.
The guy.
Yeah, okay.
When we were leaving, so like,
okay.
Baby, so 2 girls and then.
Oh, so you're out of the house?
Yes.
So he's with 2 girls at your house?
3 girls.
Him and 3 girls?
Chloe, 2 friends, and him, and then Ivy and Ty. They were like watching Ivy and Ty.
Interesting.
So.
What a wheel. Good for him.
I met him that
night. At 13? He's hanging out with 3 girls at their house?
She invited him over. And then the next night after that is when he asked her out.
That's cool.
Yeah, okay. I just needed to run it by you.
That's fine.
Like, let you know.
But Andy, don't be like, hey, do what you gotta do. Hey, you can spend the night. Like, they're 13.
Dude, come on. Who's saying that?
Well, you left them at the house. You don't even know the kid. He's babysitting. Is he helping?
She was babysitting.
Is he helping? Oh, I bet. They're probably downstairs playing fucking spin the bottle.
No. At 13, I don't think they're doing that at this age.
13?
Not in today's 13. Maybe back when we were 13.
I think today they are 3 years ahead of their time.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Okie dokie. You don't think they're more sexualized
at
a younger age? You are out of your fucking mind.
Because it's constantly.
You are out of your fucking.
It's constantly in their face, like all the time.
Exactly.
So I think where we were way more curious because
you showed me a picture of them at a bar mitzvah, and every one of the girls had the tightest little skirts on and all that. They are more sexualized now than ever. Who are you kidding? Who are you kidding? Don't be aloof. Fuck, I don't even have kids, and I know that.
Don't be aloof.
Jeez Louise. No, I think back in the 70s. What are you talking about? You have it. Every girl wants to be a fucking Insta model, showing their ass off and doing this and doing that. What are you talking about, dude? Just keep an eye on it. That's all.
Keep an eye on it.
Man, oh man. Quit looking at your phone. Let's get going here, man. We're almost
trying to find you a photo.
Let's go. I don't want to see a photo. Oh, Jesus Christ. Show me a photo of your fucking daughter. I don't want to see it. What's wrong with you?
Of the boyfriend.
What's wrong with you? But anyway, a lot of good shit going on.
Anything else you have to add? Did you see that sea monster grab that little girl out of the boat?
No, Andy. Maybe I did.
Just grabs her out of the boat.
Maybe I did. I'm watching weather right now, man.
Was it a walrus? Is that what it would be?
No, I saw a walrus take his fucking husk and jam it into a lifeboat. But
I want to give a shout out to Sniper's Edge again.
Okay.
Sniper's Edge.
They doing more for you, man?
Sniper's Edge. Anyway, so I'm trying to find that picture. This walrus, dude. This girl is on a boat. She must be 6 years old. The whole family. And it just comes out of the water and snatches her.
She died?
She goes into the water. The grandfather, in heroic fashion, dives in and saves her, Cam. Gets the girl back into the boat safely. He's back into the boat.
Yeah, that's an old
Just
video.
a miraculous video.
It's an old video. It's an old video.
You don't know if it's old.
I know exactly what you're talking about. There's another one where they...
What country were they from?
No idea. But there's another one where a girl's trying to feed, the seals, and one grabs her shirt, bam, brings her right in, takes her right under.
I think that happened. Sorry, I lost my flip-flop.
Nasty ass flip-flops. Good God. We're not getting back into that either. But anyway.
All right, listen,
we got some hockey, man, to watch.
Dave Lowry's
awesome as hell.
We talk about Shane Wright. We talk about everybody.
He's totally cool,
Matty
man.
Beniers.
Yep, his son.
His son, the most underrated captain.
Yep. Although they got their fucking asses.
We got to give a shout out to their head coach who is retiring, by the way.
Yeah, Rick Bowness, man.
Rick Bowness.
Bones,
baby. He had a great run, dude. 38 years coaching.
A lot of veteran hockey guys, man, were tweeting out Al McKinnis. So a bunch of guys are like, this guy's a real deal. And I heard he is. Let's get him on too.
No, I talked to him last week. He's had some family. His wife was sick.
I played against his son.
Remember that? He beat you up or something?
Fuck, did I pound him? Oh, fuck. I pounded him.
Did you?
Yeah. He's our captain.
Well, that's...
Played for the Brampton Battalion. Nice guy.
Really?
Great guy. Yeah, I follow him on it. I say hey to him on Instagram.
He's probably way smaller than you.
He's bigger than me.
And
he was bigger than me.
Way smaller and plays...
You're wrong on a lot of things.
You grabbed him for no reason.
No, he ran over our
I've
captain.
seen what you do, dude. I've seen what you do.
Oh, yeah? What is that? What do you mean?
Very dirty. Elbows high.
Sometimes.
Late hits. You made a career out of the late hit.
You can only have so many late hits.
You know, like a Matt Rempe hit where he hit the Van Riemsdyk? And people are like, that's late. That was like the timing of a lot of your hits.
Yeah, I know. You're right. It was different back then, too. You could do that. Well, you could now.
But you wouldn't always catch them unsuspecting like that. They'd know you're coming and it'd still be late.
They know I'm coming, I still kill them. That means you're strong. Because if they're bracing for it, that means that you know how to hit.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. All right.
Talk about your football career.
Rod Brindamore, by the way, I will say this about his situation in Carolina. He and Tommy Boy, dude. Tom Dundon.
Yeah.
Very, very close friend of ours here on the show. They become like great friends. Brindamore. Sorry if I sound nasally, dude.
Hey, speed it up, man. We've been here for fucking 2 hours. Let's go. I think you don't want to go home or something. Let's go.
They become very close friends, very good friends, Cam. And I would think that it gets done, but I think if you're Brindamore, like we said several months ago, dude, do not take less, dude, just because it's Carolina. I know you want to be there, but there's a lot of great teams out there. There's a lot of great cities out there. Yeah. He played for multiple cities. You know, they loved him in Philly just like they loved him in Carolina, like they loved him in St. Louis, man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great teams out there. Well, he will be loved and get respected. But let me ask you this, Cam. If they lose in the second round here to the Rangers, which is very possible.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, like, how much are you really wanting to pay? Like, I mean, I know he's a good coach, but, I mean, how good is he, dude? Like, you got to win, dude. I'm all about, like, win. You know, that's when you become, like, that's when you get elevated. That's why Craig Berube can probably go knock on a door and say, I want 5 times 5. And may not get it, but I think he probably will from a team who's truly wants a Stanley Cup winning coach, Brind'Amour might be a better coach than Berube. But at the end of the day, if you don't have the hardware, dude, as a coach, like, I don't know, man. Like, you keep losing in the second round. Last year, they went to the conference final and got swept. If they lose to the Rangers, does it change anything, in your opinion, of how much money he should be able to command?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Nah. I think, unlike John Tavares, he is kind of right there. That team is right there.
Yeah.
And I think he does have a good grip on the players. I think they like him.
Oh, of course.
I would pay him.
But is it different when they walk into that dressing room every single day and they see pictures of Rob Brind'Amour holding a Stanley Cup? Like, does it bring his respect level up higher because of where he's coaching versus if he's coaching in Seattle and doesn't have the same affiliation?
Yeah, that helps. That helps.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that gets you. That's always going to be there, and people in Seattle are going to know that he's a winner anyway. His presence,
or if he's coaching in New Jersey.
Not to mention, like, your coach is in better shape than you. Like, that helps too. All those little things that he has. He's easy to talk to.
What if
he's very motivated?
What if he took on the challenge and said, "I'm gonna go coach Toronto"?
I'd be like, "You're fucking nuts." I wouldn't even mess.
Would you want to even, like, if you're Chief, dude, talk to Chief.
No way. I wouldn't.
Chief, just go to New Jersey.
Go to Jersey, dude. It's a lot easier. The travel's a lot better too.
And they got good young players, dude.
Yeah.
They got foundational defensemen, foundational offensive players.
Toronto, no. Columbus, no. Seattle, yes.
Mm-hmm.
LA, yes. Where am I missing? Who am I missing? Carolina, if they're gone, I would love to coach for Carolina. You're damn right. You want Tom, and I know he's frugal.
Right. Hey,
I don't care.
Got a good team.
There's a damn good team. You're solid. You're smart with what you do.
Let me throw out something to you real quick.
Buffalo, no. Oh, yeah. What's his name there anyway?
San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
You take that?
Yes, I would. Celebrini, yeah. San Jose, I would.
What do you mean Celebrini? He's not on the team yet.
No, we might get him.
Well, we don't know at this time.
You okay?
No, dude. I'm having an allergy attack right now.
Jesus.
An allergy attack.
Get going. Let's go.
Where should Mitch Marner go? Where's the best fit for him?
Columbus.
No. I could see it. You know where I just envision him?
Where?
Surrounded by the type of players that just, like, can win, but they're missing him. Carolina.
Yeah. Carolina could be good. That's a lot of money, man.
It's a lot of money.
A lot of money.
For Mitch.
For Mitchie.
What's his dad saying right now?
You motherfucker! If I can get going.
Come on, Mitch. I swear to God, Mitch.
I'm going to get the switch. Like Adrian Peterson. Go get that switch off that tree. Yeah. And then you beat your son with it.
Oh, my God.
Jesus. I know.
Adrian.
My dad never fucking beat me, dude. He probably should have, but he never did.
Go
get that switch. That's such an old school bullshit tactic. You have to beat your kid with a fucking tree branch, you fucking weirdo. You're not intimidating enough. You gotta beat your fucking kid. Fuck you. Nope. My dad just had to look at me, and I was crazier than all you fucking kids. I tell you that right now.
You think you were?
Shit.
You're soft. That's why he's worn out.
Yeah. Shit.
I went on vacation.
And he went to Cape Cod, and he talks about it for 4 fucking weeks. Nerdiest trip ever.
Hey, first form, man.
Yeah, right here. I needed
Brings
those
us the
electrolytes.
Cam and Strick podcast. Did you take anything with you?
Yeah. Oh God, I was eating those
beef sticks?
These things save me so much fucking money.
Oh, I bet.
Because
Cam, you want to come to sushi with us? No, I'm just gonna have a beef stick.
No. It's after you fucking come back up to kind of regroup, and you're like, God, do we order room service now?
No,
like,
you
no, I'll
have some
snack
of
a
those.
couple of these bad boys.
Good
You got
idea.
like a 2-hour gap before you go to dinner. I'm like, I need something.
Good idea.
You know, so you just snack these bad boys and crush them, and you feel dang good. But yeah, those are a lifesaver, man. And not to mention the electrolytes that you just in the morning.
The fruits and the greens, the energy drinks,
all that stuff, you know.
The level 1 protein, which is a savior. I'm gonna have
savior.
I'm gonna have a shake when I break my fast here coming up after the show.
Good for you.
It's a great way to break the fast.
It totally is.
Find me a better way to do it.
Coat that stomach, baby. Coat that stomach. I might barbecue today. Hopefully the storms don't come in until
No,
later.
I think we're clear for the rest of the day. You should know that.
No, they were coming this morning.
No, we're good now
Maybe.
for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
I'm just
maybe
telling you what's going on.
Maybe right.
This guy has
the weather.
This guy has no idea.
What else does Andy
Use
like?
our link, dude. Firstform.com/Cam and Strick.
Got to use the link, baby.
Yoink. right?
Yeah. Use that link. Not to mention, guys were crushing these bad boys. They were down there.
Hell yeah.
They were crushing these bad boys.
You could buy them there?
No, we brought them down.
Really?
Mm-hmm. We brought them down, and guys were mixing that with vodka.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
Yep.
You know, at a Blues game, when I brought Ty to a game. We weren't doing the game; it was a national televised game. So, and we had club access, and the bartender told me that's one of the most requested drinks during games is First Form and vodka.
Yeah, it's good, real good. So.
Hell yeah.
Good stuff, man. They got it all.
Hey, listen, man, I'm just telling you all the great things.
Oh, another thing with First Form, by the way. I'm sitting at people, I wear this everywhere. First Form, boom.
Really?
Yes. They knew the pod. They saw First Form. I saw girls at one of the things, they come up and they go, "Don't be a hoe."
Whoa, is that like something?
I go, "What?" I go, "I won't." She goes, "Don't be a hoe." And I'm like, I guess that's what Andy Frisella says.
Oh,
on his
really?
podcast. Don't be a hoe. I go, yeah, don't be a fucking hoe. Kind of like these other girls with some of these dudes.
Don't be a hoe.
Yeah. I'm like, interesting. They had all kinds of slang words. It was hilarious.
Can I tell a story that happened with me the other day?
Man, come on, dude. We're fucking two hours into this.
Can I tell a story?
No.
With First Form, real quick?
Oh, with First Form, yeah.
Yeah. So I got Ty this is how honest they are.
Mm-hmm.
I would have never have known.
Yeah.
I got Ty a First Form hoodie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look good.
You see that? It's a great sweatshirt, man. They got kids now apparel. Yeah. Get your kids, man, some hoodies, T-shirts, whatever. And I guess they had reduced the price, or the price was wrong on what they charged me. And somehow they caught it, and they sent me a refund for the difference of what I paid and what it should have been. I was like, dude, you guys,
honest as can be.
That's a good story. Are you guys for real?
I thought you were going to go down a path where you're like, I was at this place. And then it's funny because I was at this place and then, this thing had,
Could you imagine John Tavares doing the live read?
No, that's how you sound. That's exactly what it is. He's John Tavares when he tells stories. It's unbelievably boring. No, it makes me want to fucking sleep.
No, that's not true.
No, if I need to sleep, I'll take Andy.
Cam was like, I'm just, I'm too tan right now.
Oh, Andy, just tell me a story about something. Tell me a story about your vacation.
I mean, we're going out to dinner, we're having sushi. I am just worn out.
Partying. We drink so too. Get on with yourself.
You couldn't hang with them anyway.
Yeah. Man, dude.
IRC, baby.
Hey.
Illinois Recovery Center.
There's some people
who could use it.
Oh, yeah, dude. No doubt about it. They probably went to the edge where they're like, fuck, I need to chill for a bit. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. But listen, man, like if you know that you need to chill, you're okay. It's when you don't know how to chill.
Yes.
It's when you just keep
going.
You
can't control
and you keep going. And listen, the group that we had, you can't have many guys that are out of control that need fucking help because you're going to ruin the fucking party, dude.
Yeah.
You're going to be that guy that won't stop. You're fucking, not to mention you're spending so much goddamn money.
Yeah.
Then you act like a goddamn fool. No one wants to hang out with you. No one wants to invite you anywhere else.
God.
You need help. 100%, man.
Don't be that guy.
You cannot be that guy. But if you do need help, they will help you. And the last time I was there, it was a lot about alcohol too. Mm-hmm. It really was.
Really?
Guys getting a lot of D-dubs and stuff like that.
Really? And then they...
Yeah.
Go into rehab.
And they were, they got up in the morning and they were just crushing vodka and they couldn't stop. The fentanyl, like again, we talked about that when you're on vacation, and guys are fucking asking you to buy Coke and this, that, and the other. Like, man, I'm going to try stuff. Don't even think about it, dude. Don't even think about it. Fentanyl is everywhere. And hell, if it doesn't kill you, you're going to be addicted so goddamn fast your head will spin. Then you are going to need
fentanyl's addictive too?
What? Fentanyl is the most addictive thing going.
I thought it just kills you.
No, it doesn't just kill you. You get addicted to it. You see those guys in the fucking on the streets in Philly and LA. They're on fentanyl, man. Fentanyl is a new bioweapon from China. And it fucking
From where?
China. And it grabs you, dude. It grabs you in a different way than heroin does. If you ask people that are addicted to fentanyl, they wish to God they were addicted to heroin instead. That's how much hardcore it is. You got to watch it, dude. Okay. If it's not going to kill you, you're going to be addicted in 2 fucking days.
All right, I'm glad you talked about that. Reach out to me if you want to know how to get a hold of Chris or Eric.
I'm dead serious on that.
Yeah.
I'm dead serious on that. You really got to watch it, man.
800-743-0971.
Got to give him a call. Got to.
There's a bed waiting for you.
There is a comfortable bed, by the way. Really comfortable. They're nice. It's a nice setup, dude. But they don't fuck around. It's not like, hey, come on in, do what you want. No, you're getting right.
It's not a country club.
Hell no. It's not like I'm going to L.A. and doing that. I'm going to go to Hollywood with all those good-looking...
I'm going to Palm Springs.
I'm going to Palm Springs. I'm really going to get help. No, you're not. These guys are actually going to help you. And they're watching what you're doing, and they're keeping tabs on everything, and you're going to do the right thing. And once you get out of there, you're going to be like, I want to fucking grab the world, baby.
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get my family back. I'm ready to get my job back. I'm ready to be me again.
Yeah. And my family's ready to have me back.
Oh, man, my family. Oh, my. If they're still there. You know what I mean? If they're still there. Because you lose your family when you're an addict.
A lot of times.
You don't know that? Yeah, you do. It's a horror. You have all these things crashing down on you. You're an addict. Your family hates you. You got no money because you spent it all. Came and drive because you got D-dubs.
Damn.
It's no joke, dude. IRC.
IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com. Check it out. And check it out today. Hat launch, baby.
Man, oh, man.
I was telling our buddy Adam I'll give him a shout out over at Victor Hockey.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you got to talk to Hat Launch to let them start making your hats.
Yeah. Good call. Connect people.
So I'm connecting people.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
a
great
like,
idea.
Dude, I'm in.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
No doubt.
So
shit, I wear hats every fucking day, man.
And our boys at the Normal brand, dude, telling them like, hey, all these hats, who's making your hats? Bud?
Yeah, get them. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they need help. They don't fit my head.
Because I went in there the other day and I didn't put two and two together. I'm like, damn, yeah, they sell a shit ton of hats.
Yeah.
They've got like 50 different styles. Normal brand's where it's at, by the way.
But Hat Launch.
But I'm like,
their hats fit my head.
Who's making your hats? Hat Launch should be making your hats.
They do it all, man.
So they're the number one custom hat service and manufacturer in the world, really.
One of them.
I mean, they really are. Top in North America, the number one source for customized hats you'll find with Hat Launch. And I mean that, man. It's important. Anyone who knows when you get a hat, you want to make sure this is from Hat Launch.
Yeah.
And it fits my head.
I wore that too.
Did you?
Yeah. I wore the
See
York
how
one.
it fits my head?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That hat fits your head.
I know.
Some of those other ones, you get fucking chirped hardcore.
Right.
Because your head's really small.
Right.
My head's really big. But Hat Launch, their hats, they could fit mine. They could fit little
fit.
guys like him. You know, doesn't matter.
What size is your head? Like an 8? 8.5?
Whatever the big boy is.
Oh, my God. You're so disproportionate, dude.
I'm big, dude.
Oh, my God. Were you always big as a kid?
Yeah.
Were you?
Mm-hmm.
Like how big?
Bigger than everybody else. Not taller, but just bigger, thicker,
never taller.
stronger.
Never taller.
Always
Never
like,
more athletic.
Yeah, no, of course not. The professional athlete.
Never faster.
I'll blow your fucking doors off in a race. I'll jump higher than you. I'm stronger than you.
Never.
Stronger than fucking any of your
Or
fucking
maybe
buddies.
stronger. But you're not jumping higher.
I'll jump higher than you.
Not in my heyday, dude.
You want to go? You want to race?
Well, now you want to.
I'm 250.
I'm past my prime.
I'm 250.
But you would never. I'd shut you down for 4 quarters, dude. You wouldn't catch a ball.
Fucking, that's funny.
This guy wouldn't catch a single ball. Hatlaunch.com, baby.
Yeah.
Say hi to Danny and Jordan.
What's up, guys? How you doing, man? Damn good work.
Check out their website, hatlaunch.com, man. Great people. And love that we connected with them and love that we're connecting people we love to connect with.
Connect.
Hat Launch.
Damn right.
And hatlaunch.com. Cam, at Bellman, you get no.
Swinging dicks. None of that stuff, man.
Did you see a lot of those?
No.
And the Bahamas?
No. It's all women.
At the Mar.
Listen to me.
What's it called?
Baja Mar. It's women. There's women everywhere. And not just
without
fucking
men?
Yes.
Really? So what would you say the number of women to a man was?
Could be like 55-50. Like, that's good. If it's 50-50 at a place like that, that's great. Yeah, dude. There was girls there with other girls. I'm telling you, dude. Well, trust me, because I'm with a bunch of guys, and there's guys that with me.
Was it like a...
They were wheeling.
Really?
Yes.
Damn.
They bring girls over like... Kate's like, who's that? I'm like, that's their friends. Like, whoa.
Oh, God. No, she picks up on that. She knows.
God. Are you kidding? Hell yeah, she does.
Even without a thong on, she picks up
I told her to put a goddamn thong on. You should see her
Oh, really?
Oh, God, she got so burnt. Poor girl.
Does she get burnt?
Oh, blonde hair, blue eye. It's like me. You're damn right she gets burnt.
Cam's the palest person in the Bahamas.
I was for a while there. Kate and I both were. Kate looks good pale. You know, that's her look.
Kim Kardashian.
Who cares about that woman?
I thought she looked pretty good.
God, that's all you talk about. Fucking bullshit like that. You are a woman.
Dude,
you like women.
I loved that roast.
That was pretty good. Roasts are good.
And now I want to get involved in roasting. I thought Dana White was good too.
Yeah, he goes, what did he say?
Am I not woke enough for you?
Yeah, my name's fucking Dana. And you only give me a minute?
Somebody wrote that for him, dude.
Okay, fine, but it was good.
No, because they all have writers.
Yeah, I know.
Randy Moss had the worst performance.
Yeah, I heard he was bad.
But that's not his style, dude. He's just a West Virginia bass fisherman.
Why have him on there then?
Because he's a legend.
It wasn't woke. It was a good roast. It was a good roast.
So I think stuff like that could end wokeness.
It helps.
It just tells us we're moving the needle.
Yeah, it helps.
It's like I remember.
Sure. It helps for sure.
We hadn't started the podcast yet, but like Michael Jordan is like dropping F-bombs on ESPN during COVID. Coronavirus. Mm-hmm. The Last Dance. Remember that?
Yep.
And I'm like, damn, Michael Jordan's dropping F-bombs on ESPN. I mean, if he's doing it, everybody else can too.
I thought the grown men didn't like that.
Well, the grown men don't like it. Dude, I had a great...
What a fucking nerd.
Hey, Maddie, I need you to help us set this up. I was talking to Alex.
I said that yesterday.
From Half Coast Studios.
Yeah.
And I'm going to set up a Google hotline for people to call in and leave us voice messages.
Oh, that'd be great.
And we're going to play them.
Oh, that'd be great.
Okay, so...
see, there's an idea.
Yeah, I got one.
I like that.
I got one about you already.
Oh, go ahead.
Talk about Bellman real quick.
Hey, no swinging dicks at Bellman. And listen, they have everything right there in Troy, Missouri. I want a nice, probably a big 2500 Dodge Ram. They got those Jeep Grand Cherokees, like fucking twin turbo. They're badass too. Mm-hmm. They got it all. Hey, even the Buicks, man.
Buick
you want to trip a
GMC.
Buick? Go drive a Buick. They drive like Cadillacs. I'm telling you right now.
Do.
You can get Denali. They have it all. They have anything you need there.
Where's it located?
In Troy, Missouri. Bellman.
Where?
Troy. Dale. Dan. Kenny. Fucking great guys, man. Your wife could go buy a car there. Whatever she needs to do. She's not going to be intimidated or fucking creeped out. Bellman and Bellman.com. Love you guys.
Are you ready? You're not going to like this.
Go ahead.
Are you ready for it?
Who's it by?
I can't.
Do I know him?
No. It's just a random listener.
It's a text.
It's a random listener. They message me. I got a lot of people I know.
That's a text thread, though, so it's somebody you know.
So is Cam's only intellectual limit? So do you have a boat or a truck or what? Jesus, so annoying.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, does Cam have a pontoon boat on the Merrimack River so he's an authority?
No, I had a badass showrunner that went 70 miles an hour that got made.
Oh, dude, this is so funny. He loves the podcast.
Fucking tell you're a fucking nerd anyway. No, I had a badass showrunner I had made from.
I'm just telling you what they're saying. So we need the Google hotline, dude.
I'll take that. I don't mind that.
So, Maddie, you know how to set that up? We need a Google number. Or Brody, if you're listening, or Amos, anybody, Steven.
And he loves when I get chirped. Like, it makes him happy.
That's a funny one, though.
Okay.
That's not saying, like, chirping your hockey or Cam, the Tom Brady. I don't know if you didn't see it. You need to go watch the Tom. Cam's worn out vacationing that he's missed the roast. Dude, you got to watch that today.
Yeah, you might have to take that out.
He said it twice.
You got that?
Yeah.
So he's chirping my intelligence
because I
asked for boats. Like, that's a cool thing. Like, I like boats.
Keep asking.
Who is that nerd? Creed Core Racket.
Hey, let's get the Dave Lowry man pie. And go to Bellman, by the way, and get yourself a new car and stay energized. It's First Form. Get your hat from obviously Hat Launch and take care of yourself,
Let's
man.
Go,
Be
dude.
healthy
like,
with the IRC, baby.
Prolonged,
Dave Lowry, baby. On this edition of the Cam and Strick Podcast. The Cam and Strick Podcast is brought to you by First Form, baby. Use our link and do it today. www.firstform.com/camandstrick.
Get jacked now. They are the real deal.
Get that protein, check out the apparel, eat those bars, and drink those energy drinks. Firstform.com/camandstrick.
Yeah.
Now on to the interview. I'm about to make you feel really old, Dave. I hope you're ready for
I
this.
know.
Okay?
Oh, please.
Watching you when I was a kid.
Me too, man. That era got us into hockey. And now look at St. Louis.
It's probably at the old arena too, right?
Yes, it was.
Hey, man.
With the birds flying around.
You had a little bit of everything, though. And listen, we just hit record and we just have conversation. You did everything back in the day.
Yeah,
there's not too many guys like that in the league today. I mean, your son's one of them, but who fights, scores in that 15 to 20 goal range consistently, but brings so much character. You thrived off of that style of game, man. As a coach, are you trying to get players to play like that, or you can't manufacture it? It's got to be inbred in you. You either have it or you don't.
I think today it's really hard to teach these kids how to play and say, hey, something needs to be done. Yeah. It comes natural. With the primary focus on concussions and kids getting hurt and the violence in the sport and all that, I think as a coach, it's really hard to teach it, but there's still that, there's still that fire. Sometimes when you're standing behind the bench, it might pop out and say something needs to be done about it, but you do it a little differently.
Well, that's how you win Stanley Cups, though. You know what I mean, right? When you dig into the playoffs and you're in the third round, those are the players that win you the championship.
Well, did you look at Jamie Benn last night?
Yeah, damn right I did.
Driving the bus.
Oh boy.
Somebody hit one of the younger guys, and the next thing you know, his first opportunity, he's a throwback, and he's a guy that we believe that's playing the game the right way. They understand the game within the game and the battle level and everything that it's hard to win the Stanley Cup.
Dave,
and
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. I thought
no, that's good. It takes special character within that room to win.
Before we talk about what's going on behind you, I need to know where you're at.
Yeah, dude.
I'm looking at this blue water behind
Mountains in the background.
Oh my God! Hey,
tech billionaires everywhere.
I know this is like a recruiting tool for anyone who wants to come live in Seattle. Are you in Washington right now? Where are you at?
We're selling Seattle right now.
I love it.
If you know any UFAs that want to come and play, this is what it's like every day here.
Hey, sunny and beautiful.
Hey, Schwartzy and Vince Dunn, they tell us, man, they love it. They got the golf thing going on out there, man. They absolutely love living out there. Hey, but real quick, a few years back, because you brought up Jamie Benn, he sat on Petro's face, literally sat on him during a playoff. Was it a playoff game? It was late in the regular. It was a meaningful game.
It was a meaningful game, yeah.
Very meaningful game. And I couldn't believe it. He literally used his face with his hand to get up off the ice. And nobody really did anything. And Petro put him on the bench last night. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
I mean, an open ice hit and put him on the bench. I was like, damn, there we go. So, that's kind of how you get your payback too, even if it's not maybe the next season. You always keep that in your memory bank, don't you?
Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get even, right? But you always remember, and there's ways to get guys, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes a little bit more time.
Are you watching the playoffs? Are you watching every game? What do you think of the hockey going on right now?
I try and watch every game. I try and watch every night, and being on the West Coast, it starts at 4:00 for us, so it's awesome. You get the West Coast game starting at 6:30, 7 o'clock. So then it's bedtime. But there's some good hockey right now, and obviously there's some series that if you would have said, teams are up 3-1 right now, I would have not have believed it. To have only one series go 2-2, that just tells you that you get on a roll this time of the year, anybody can win.
Dave, what do you think of the playoff format? People complain because you got really, really difficult matchups here in the first round. You have teams with well over 100 points who are going to lose in the first round. It's just the nature of the format today. What do you think of it as an old school guy who's been around for a long time?
Well, I know when I came into the league, there were 16 teams that made the playoffs, and there was 21 teams total. There's 32 teams now, right? And maybe you go to a format or you start looking at different ways. I know that the league really likes the way it's set up right now, and if you listen to Gary talk, he likes the playoff format. I think a lot of people are really starting to enjoy the wild card in baseball and the play-in the NBA.
Cam watches the NBA.
No, I don't watch the NBA. But I do watch a lot of hockey, and I do feel like in the last, at least this year, and people are talking about this is one of the most entertaining years of the regular season. You got guys scoring goals. You got guys getting 100 assists. Yeah. you still got the big boys going at it here and there.
Ovi chasing,
although he didn't show up in the playoffs, but a lot of things combined this year. So it kind of brings back a little bit of old school too.
It's really good for the game. And you look at the scoring and you look at the power plays and how many power plays are over 20%, how many PKs are over 80%, right? And the numbers this year, hopefully it's an anomaly on the PK side. I love it if your power play is running about 25, 28%, but it just shows you the skill level of players today, right? And it shows you that there's some high-end players, there's some great talent in the league, and it's pretty exciting to be a fan right now.
Hey, what do you primarily run as an assistant coach? Like, are you a PK guy? You a power play guy? What do you like to take over?
I was a defensive guy my whole career, and trust me, I'd love to sometimes run the power play. But I spent a lot of time working with PK, and that is something that I did throughout my career. But you always like change. You always like to try and do different things. But that for me is one of my strengths.
Listen, I'm watching this Tampa Bay power play. And I know Edmonton has an incredible power play too right now, and they're making LA's PK look terrible. I don't know if LA's PK is just that bad, but there certainly has something to do with it. But it's a little more individual play. I mean, you've got the McDavid Draisaitl factor, and Tampa Bay has great individual players too. But it's like kind of everybody's like in their spot. Everybody's dangerous. Are they the most difficult power play to defend against in the league today? I know you only see them a couple times a year. Looking at Tampa Bay, but like who's the most dangerous? Are they not as dangerous as Edmonton? Vancouver's got a good power play. How do you look at the Rangers? How do you look at the top power plays in the game today?
Well, I look at number one, who the driver is, and then you look at Edmonton and they had the mics on a couple of guys, and they're showing all different looks, right? And they're going, they can't stop this, they can't stop this, they can't stop this, right? And it's hard. And that just shows you how critical it is, especially now in the playoffs. You're taking those needless penalties. It usually cost you hockey games. And Edmonton, they have a one-time shot up top with Bouchard. You have Draisaitl who can score on the goal line. You have Hyman who just stands in the paint and on the back post and just taps pucks in, right? And we're not even talking about McDavid yet or Nuge on the coming down the backside. And then you look at Tampa, Stamkos, one-timer, always set up there, right? You got Point, who's probably the best bumper in the league. You got Kucherov making plays, and you got Hedman, who has a bomb up top.
And Hagel.
Right? And
Sergachev.
And Hagel can make plays, right?
Throw Hagel into the mix there too, right? And there's another underrated guy that when Tampa made the trade with Chicago, you're like, really?
I know.
But you see the player today and who he's become, and you can understand why that deal was made.
What do you think of I know there's some controversy over some of the goalie interference the other night with Tampa and Florida. Like, what's your take on some of the rules when it comes to getting in front of the net where you like to post up? Like, is it fair? I mean, you see some of these penalties called, some of them are taken away. Like, what's your take on it?
Well, I saw the challenges last night, and the one that it was the second challenge where it's just, I think it's Cirelli's foot, and you read Cirelli's lips. He goes, "I never touched him," right? But his foot just goes spinning in through the crease. There's incidental contact. Puck goes in the net, and as the rule says, that's the blue ice is the goalie's ice, and you can't be in there.
I know, but like, hey. Do you have an earpiece in on the bench, or is that another one of the coaches? Because I will say the video guys, they're almost never wrong with the offsides. But as a coach, when you challenge for a goalie interference, I mean, do you really have an idea of which way it's going to go? Sometimes you just don't even know.
Most of the time, you have a really good idea, and you're probably 100% sure. But there are times when it's going to be a borderline call. You know you're probably not going to win it.
Yeah.
But if you're really comfortable with your PK, you know that you're making that call for the goalie, and you're battling for your goalie, and he knows that you're really aware of what's going on, and sometimes you got to fight for your goalie as well.
Hey, who's your favorite Sutter? You've coached with all of them or played for them. You need to rank the Sutters for us.
It's crazy, right? Like, I played with Richie, played with Ronnie, coached. I was coached by Dwayne. I was coached by Brian, coached by Daryl, and worked with Brent. Like, I've got, I might have Sutter somewhere on the birth certificate, right? Like, and
you need to work on their farm now.
They make a lot of money.
You know what? That might be an option soon.
Hey, but Brian, but do you are they all the same? Are they all completely different? I mean, Brian was always so intense. We've had him on here, man. Love talking to him and watching him. I wasn't super young when he was playing, but I remember him playing. And you came in, Bernie was still playing. I think when you joined.
I played with Bernie.
Yeah, Bernie was still playing. And Brian was coaching. But you mentioned all these other Sutters, and we see Daryl and kind of how he is. Cam played for Brent. Are they all the same? Or are they different?
I'll tell you what. You know what? They're close. They're close, and there's an enormous amount of similarities. Brian, you always feared, and simply because when you walked into the room in St. Louis and in the old dressing room, you could hear Ron Caron speaking. Right. And if you ever got cornered by the professor, you were stuck there. You didn't get a stretch. You didn't get a warm up. You're almost late to get on the ice, right? Because he's talking baseball, he's talking hockey, and he's got all the stories. Right. And then you'd be cornered. And then Brian would be walking around and he would be so intense that he'd be punching you in the shoulder and you'd have to go ice down. And you're like, I'm getting ready for a game here, bud. I'm going to get hit out on the ice. I don't need to be hit in the dressing room. And then you got Daryl. And I'll tell you what, Daryl is probably the most intense out of them all, and probably one of the best in-game managers, and running a bench and knowing what and who was going and what buttons to push during a game. And then you have Summer Daryl, who is the best guy and the nicest guy, and you wouldn't know that he's a Sutter. And then as soon as he gets into the rink and the wintertime comes, it's a whole different animal, and the intensity level ramps right up.
Could you go back Oh, sorry, Matt. Go ahead.
Yeah, and you played with Brent, right? And Brent was, Brent's an unbelievable guy, and he is probably he's one of the most generous guys that I've come across in the game. And we'd go out for dinner as a staff, and he always paid. So it was great. You went home and you had pockets full of meal money, and it was awesome, right? And then I played with Richie and Ronnie, and played with Ronnie and Richie in St. Louis, played with Ronnie in Calgary, played with Ronnie in San Jose, roomed with them. So Ronnie and I are pretty close, Richie as well. And you know what, our time in St. Louis, we had some good teams, and I had an opportunity to play with Richie and Bobby Basson, and we had a lot of fun out there.
Bobby Basson. Oh man, you gotta understand, we're from St. Louis, dude, and so when late '80s, early '90s, that's how we all got into hockey. And so you bring up Bobby Basson, God. Just not a big guy. We saw him the other day at the Puck Cancer event with Chaser, and I'm thinking I remember watching him as a kid. He's not a big guy, but God, he just throw bombs toe to toe,
and a good player,
running
too.
Guys, doing this, and just a good guy overall.
How much did he weigh?
He was probably about 165 pounds, right? And we called him the Scud Missile, right? And that was pound for pound, he was one of the toughest guys. At that time, right? And there was a lot of tough guys, and I think Robbie DeMaio was another guy that was pretty tough at that point in time too.
You play with Gilmore in St. Louis?
No, I didn't. And it's a funny Doug Gilmore story. Is I was playing in Calgary, he was playing in Toronto, and I was the guy that ended up ending his career with his knee injury. I was jumping on the ice. He was skating backwards in the neutral zone, incidental contact, and he blew his knee out. And
wow,
we had people that opened the fan mail and organized it all for us and all this, right? And I'm getting death threats next time we come into Toronto. People are going to kill me, right? And this was something that I really didn't pay much attention to it until people start telling you that they're going to kill you when you come into Toronto.
Oh, the two most hated people in Toronto, Kurt Fraser and Dave Lowry.
Yeah, Kurt Fraser.
Kurt Fraser, man,
right.
For not calling the high sticking penalty.
Yep.
Right. Wayne.
Right.
But you were there at the beginning stages of Brett Hull. And again, like as kids here, man, you go drive through the McDonald's, his face is everywhere. You get the little cartoon character of him. I mean, what was that like? Just seeing him on the ice, how the fans reacted to him, how he was in public. Like, it must have been pretty crazy.
Holly was awesome, and I will say this: like he was great for the growth of the game. Number one, not only scoring goals, but he took time with the fans, and he signed autographs, and there was lineups of people, right? And you know how bus always goes at a certain time. Well, we were always waiting for Hully because he wanted to take care of everybody. And I remember we were in Philadelphia, and he signed an autographs, and we got a charter to catch and playing back to back, and he didn't sign for a couple people, and they're taking their Sharpies and they're like stroking his suit and hitting his tie, and he's like, why do I do this, right? Like, why do I even come close to them and that? But I will say this, he had a gift, and it was awesome. It was awesome to watch, but he also was a personality, right? And Steve Tuttle, like Hully and Oatsy used to touch his stick, and they'd look at it and go, nah, no wonder why you can't score. Look what you're using, right? Like, poor Tuts never said a word, right? And he's just taking the abuse, and he's like, right? And then his gloves, your gloves are no good, right? So Hully would throw him his second gloves and give him his used sticks, and Tuts thought he had won the lottery.
That's funny. Steve Tuttle, number 35, man. He listens to the podcast too, so I see him on reacting on Facebook and stuff like that.
Funny.
So,
and you know what? It's crazy. I believe he lives here in Seattle now.
Oh, does he?
I believe so.
You gotta get him down to a game.
Man, how is Seattle? Like, explain, like, for people that don't know. And I was out there this year doing radio with the Blues, and I kind of cruised around and did my thing. It seems like a lovely place, but like, what do people need to know about Seattle?
It's a great place. And we live on the east side of the lake. And so there's a couple small towns, Kirkland, Bellevue, that great restaurants. I couldn't tell you what the nightlife is like because I go to bed at 9 o'clock.
I get that. Me too.
Right. Downtown Seattle is, it's got a different vibe. I would say if you're coming, you get on this side, you get great views, you get great restaurants, and if you like the mountains, and if you're into the outdoors and mountain biking and hiking and all that, this is a pretty good place.
All right, so last year, I mean, you guys kind of just, I don't want to say come out of nowhere, but I mean, you kind of did, right? I mean, you probably exceeded expectations further along at an earlier point than you probably anticipated, getting over 100 points and all that. Did you feel like coming into this season that, okay, it's going to be difficult for us to match what we did a year ago? Or did you truly feel like you were ready to take the team to the next level, that you guys were capable of doing that?
Well, I think we look at last year, and last year we hit everything, right? Everything went our way. And we had a number of guys that had career years. And you get into the playoffs and you upset Colorado, and you're one goal away from beating Dallas, right? And going to the third round. Mm-hmm. Everything seemed to fall into place. And what it's like when you're a team coming in, and sometimes people look at you, they look and say, hey, that these guys had 60 points the year before, they're not going to be that good. And you get on a roll and everything starts rolling. And we were extremely fortunate. This year we didn't get off to the start that we wanted, and that kind of was the tough part.
So Matty Beniers, like, for a young guy, how do you keep him motivated? How do you keep him confident, like feeling good about himself? Because I can only imagine, man, he scores 24 goals. He's feeling on top of the world. He's got a lot of pressure, obviously being a high pick and expected to be one of the faces moving forward of the organization. It's not as easy. You get to that next season, right? I mean, and teams all of a sudden, they know about you. Maybe they play you a little bit differently. How did he handle the inconsistencies? How did the coaching staff handle his inconsistencies this season?
I will say, and this is a credit to Matty, like he never wavered, right? And obviously things didn't go his way, but he came every day, and this kid works. This kid loves the game. This kid, you have to kick him off the ice. When it came time to play at night, one of the biggest challenges was he wasn't sneaking up on anybody. he was now going to see the other team's top.
Yeah.
If he wasn't seeing their top players, he was going to see their best defensive players. He was always getting their best D pair. So he never had an easy night. And, that for a young player sometimes presents challenges and that. And he didn't get off to the start that he wanted, but I'll tell you what, like, this kid's got a real bright future, and he knows what he needs to do this summer. He knows that what the expectations are going to be, not only for the organization, but for himself personally. And he knows the challenges that he's going to face. And the biggest thing is he'll be ready for those matchups. He'll be a year older. He'll be a year stronger. Sometimes for guys that have success the first year, you think that it's going to come easy. And sometimes, this league can humble guys in a hurry. And he's an absolute gem to work with.
Yeah, I like hearing that.
Me too.
So, Dave, Hakstol, listen, they made the announcement official yesterday. He gets let go. As an assistant coach, I mean, you've been through this before. Paul Maurice handed the keys over to you. All of a sudden, you became the interim head coach. So, a little bit of a different situation here. How much did you enjoy being the head guy versus the assistant? Is that something you'd like to experience again, being a head coach? But talk about Dave. Like, is that difficult? Like, you got to work with this guy every single day, and all of a sudden now the team struggles a little bit and he's out.
Tough day yesterday, and you know what? This is the part of the business that you don't sign up for. It was a really disappointing day. Not, simply because two guys lose their jobs, and these are great people, and you never like seeing, this happen to good people. But I will say, details, preparation, and the work that Dave and Paul put in is, these guys are workers. These guys are prepared. They're extremely detailed. And I know both of them will have success in this league. And I know that they will both land on their feet. And like I said, it was a tough day yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Were you surprised by it?
Yes, I would say that we were surprised. We knew something was probably going to happen, but until it happens, right? And it did come as a surprise, but that's the unfortunate thing, that in this business you're judged by wins and losses, and we didn't have enough wins.
Hey, what do you think of like guys like Vince Dunn, Jane Schwartz, guys who have won before, who have had those winning experiences? And it's not always about winning the cup. I mean, man, you played over 1,000 games. It's tough to win. So I don't judge players based on winning the Stanley Cup. But there is something to be said about having winning experience and going deep into the playoffs. Do they bring something different because of that? Is there a different type of composure maybe they bring to the dressing room?
Number one, they bring that experience and the calming presence. And the big thing with Vince is the role that you play on the team, right? And when Vince won, he was a younger player. Mm-hmm. He comes in now, and now he's just kind of, he's growing into becoming a leader. When he was in St. Louis, he was, he was a good player, but he wasn't the leader, or he wasn't one of the guys that were looked upon to change the outcome of the game. Schwartz, he played a different role there. And, he always raises his level of play in the playoffs. And, he's an elite player, but in the playoffs, he brings it to another level. So for us, that experience in our room is huge.
Yeah. Vince Dunn, like even his rookie season or his second year, and I got to know him really well. Like he would, I'll never be a top four here. Like he'd be impatient, like I'll never be a top four here. It's like, I'm like, hey, it'll come, like it doesn't always like, look who's in the room. Team. You got Petro here, you got Jay Bouwmeester here, you got a lot of experienced guys that are around. Your time will come, like so they want that instant gratification so quickly nowadays,
Sometimes all these guys think it's I'm ready and I'm ready for it. And they want it right away. And a great story is when I was coaching in Calgary, I had a 16-year-old kid come in and he wanted more. Right. And I had Carl Alsner, Michael Stone, Paul Postma, and Alex Plon, who was a first rounder. And I said to the player, I said, and Keith Seabrook was another guy that was the 3rd round pick of Washington. So I had 5 drafted guys, and I have a 16-year-old coming in and telling me that he's not getting enough. And I said to him, I said, here's the deal. If it was me, I would think that this is a really good opportunity to learn from all these guys. They all do something different and they all do it really well. And they've all been drafted. You're 16 years old and you come in and you think that you're going to play ahead of Carl Alsner, who's a 1st round pick to the Washington Capitals. I said, come on.
Top 10 pick.
I said, so
figure it out.
right? So I said, if I were you, I would be a little bit more patient.
Yeah.
I would learn from these guys. I'd pick their brain every day. And then you know what? When it's your turn, make sure you're ready for the opportunity, right? And he ends up getting drafted by Buffalo, and he didn't play a lot of games, but he just recently retired from playing in Europe.
Hey, before we move on from Seattle, I got to know about this Jared McCann too, though. Like, such a prolific goal scorer and doesn't get a ton of attention.
Nope.
I mean, people know who follow the game, obviously know what he's capable of doing, but sometimes you got to have those playoff moments or whatever to grab everyone's attention. Your games are on late. Yeah. What should people know about him? Is he as good as it appears that he is?
A very good player. He's got a great shot. He's got real good speed. And I think for Canada, there's upside. I think there's more. And, you have a 40-goal scorer and you have a coach saying, hey, there's more. That's the exciting part about coaching, right? Is finding ways to extract more out of players. And, he had an off year. He had 29 goals. But, what's funny is we were in Anaheim and he got pulled down on an empty netter. So really he should have had 30 goals. And I hope he didn't have a huge bonus for it, right? Because he ended up at 29.
Probably did.
He probably did. But you're looking at it and you're saying, okay, so he had 29. So now you're now working with a guy who had 40, who dipped to 29. The exciting part is we got to get him back to that level.
Yeah, let me ask you one more guy about Seattle. Is Shane Wright. Like, he came in with so much attention. I remember he's like kind of giving that look to Montreal. I mean, we've had Ron Francis on here, man. We've talked about this, but this was before this past season. Like, again, I don't care where you're drafted. It's not always easy, right? So what's holding him back from becoming a guy that you can truly count on game in and game out, who can be an impact player every single night, and he's looking forward. He's an NHL player, and he's not looking back and going up and down the way he has been,
Yeah, and that's a great question. I think the biggest thing with Shane was COVID. He missed the year, right? And here you have a young kid who missed a year of hockey where some of these other leagues were playing, where they weren't playing. So that kind of sets you back. And then you come in and you have all this pressure. And I feel for the kid simply because he's been under a microscope for a long period of time, playing hockey in Canada, in Ontario. He's been under the microscope. He's been projected to be a number one guy. Yeah. He all of a sudden isn't a number one guy. So now everyone starts asking questions. Sometimes it becomes a little bit of doubt in the player. But I will say this, the encouraging thing is he came up for a couple games earlier in the year. He went back down. When he came up at the end of the year, he was a different player. He scored some goals. He was playing on the inside. He had some pace into his game. He had some confidence into his game. And really what happened was, the opportunity to play in the American League has allowed him to get his swagger back. And, that for us is extremely encouraging when you watch a player that you have real high expectations for come back and give you a taste of really what is to come.
So what is it with a young kid that's trying to make it, that's dominated juniors, dominated college, and they come up, like, what's the most common thing that they do that's a detriment to their play?
I think probably the biggest thing is they underestimate how good the league is, right? And you're now playing against the best 750 players per se in the world. And, a lot of these kids come in and think that, oh, hey, this is going to be easy. This is going to be easy. I'm great. Well, you know what? You're a 25 goal scorer in junior, and most of these guys are 40 and 50 goal scorers in junior that are elite. And some of these defensemen are 30 goal scorers, right? And they get put into a group. And the biggest thing, and when I was coaching junior, was I always would tell these young guys, biggest challenge that you're going to have is, number one, you think you belong in the National Hockey League. Number two is you're going to go to the American Hockey League and you're going to really underestimate how good it is of a league. So you're going to go in there and you're going to be shocked and you're going to be taken aback at really the American League. And you think you're going to think I'm crazy. The American League is a heck of a lot harder to play in than the National Hockey League. Mm. And it is, you know what? It is everybody trying to get to the same place. There's a lot more reckless players. Yep. The travel when you're playing 3 games in 2.5 days and you're expected to be great every day. You don't have to do that in the National Hockey League. Like you get guys whining. We got 4 back-to-backs or 5 back-to-backs this year, right? You're playing 3 games in 2.5 days a lot of time in the American Hockey League, and it's a hard league.
Dave, that Sunday game in Wilkes-Barre at 2:00 when it's like Christian night and then we all brawl in front of all the children and it's like it's god awful. It's right? Scrambly, it's terrible. It is.
Yeah, and both teams are in the same boat, right? Yeah. And you got all that travel in there too, right? You probably got in like at 4:30 in the morning and you got to play at 2.
I know.
Right? It's kids' day.
It's like, kids' day. The week start a brawl. Our jerseys are off. Good God.
Hey, listen, and I know that you're a coach in the NHL right now, so I hesitate asking you about other players, but you've played and you've coached in Canadian cities, and Mitch Marner is just getting rinsed by the media right now. And I know like he makes a lot of money, and in the playoffs, there's certain areas of the ice that you have to be able to excel in. It's not the same as the regular season. How different is the playoffs versus the regular season? And when you watch these guys, is it truly that bad? I mean, everyone gets so emotional and so personal against this kid. It's like, I know it's not going his way. You got to find a way to impact the game in the playoffs. But how difficult is that for some guys who make the game look so easy during the regular season?
Yep.
Well, I think the biggest, and I had an opportunity to coach Mitch in 2016 with Team Canada. I love the kid. I love his compete. He's got this swagger that you really love in a player. Playoffs are a different animal, and the regular season, guys sometimes are taking shortcuts, cheating to create offense, and once playoffs start, teams that win, teams that are hard to play against, make it really hard to get in and around the net, make it really hard to get, number one, really hard to get first chances, and they make it even harder to get second chances. And you look at the elevation of the goaltending in the playoffs and the teams that win. And right now, Swayman is, he's been very good for Boston.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen, I'm not just saying this because you're on here. Like we talked about this a few weeks ago. Adam Lowry is one of our favorite players.
Hell yeah.
I think he's the most underrated captain in the league because he's doesn't put up 80, 90 points, whatever, doesn't get a lot of attention, but he plays in a Canadian city, so everyone knows who he is. I see him all the time live every year because, he's in the same division as St. Louis, man. So you know what he's about and how he can impact the game. And he's a guy who obviously his game doesn't change playoffs versus regular season, but he's going to show up. Like, had he always been that way? Did you mold him into being that kind of player? Did you say, hey, this is what's going to get you to the National Hockey League? Or did he automatically just kind of, bring that character with him, since he had, was at a young age?
I think the big thing is he had an older brother, and these guys beat the heck out of each other. That was number one. But number two is we let these guys, like his brother was drafted as well and by LA, and the one thing is we let these guys become the players who they were or who they are today, right? And we didn't say, this is what you have to do. This is what you have to do. The big thing that we always did with our kids was that they knew that there was an opportunity when their regular season was done was to get into the gym. We kind of showed them the lifestyle, how you have to live, what it was going to entail, but we weren't going to force you. And, when their seasons were done, they always played baseball. So they always played another sport. And, what we wanted to do is we really wanted to make sure that we developed an athlete. And not that we had any dreams or aspirations that they were going to play pro or whatever. And I tell you, like Mark Lamb, who is coaching in PG, he's spent, he's played in National Hockey League and when I took Adam to training camp when he was 16. And, he was 100 and maybe 160 pounds. And he was just a little wiry kid. And I was just transitioning from the WHL going to work with the Flames. And Adam was going to come into the league. And Lammer comes up to me and says, "Hey, listen, I want you to leave him here. I want him to play exhibition games." And I'm like, you know what, Lammer, I don't, I'm not sure, right? Like, let me at least talk to him, see what he wants to do and that. And I said to him, I said, so I talked to Adam. I said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "You have a chance." And he was a really good student too. And, he wins the Scholastic Player of the Year and in the Western League. And I'm like, "So what do you want to do?" Like, his brother was going to college. He was now going to have to make a decision with what he wanted to do. He says, "Well, I want to stay here." So I went to Lambert. I said, "Here's the deal." I said, "I'll leave him. He can play some games, but you can't call me in a month and say I got to find a place for him to play for the rest of the winter." He goes, "Dave, he's going to be in my top 6." And I said to Lambert, I said, "Well, you guys aren't going to be very good then, right?"
He's 160 pounds and 16.
Right. And I give Lambert credit. Like, he saw it early. He knew he had a place for him, and he was true to his words, right? And by the time he was 19, he never come off the ice.
See, that's the difference, man. You played 1,000 games. You're an NHL coach. You can look at the junior coach and say, "Hey, don't call me in a month."
Let me give you a hypothetical, because there's a lot of dads and moms that listen to this podcast, and they got kids that are coaching. So when Adam was young, and he was a good player, say he had 2 bad games. You travel a long time. He's not busting his ass. He's lazy, and that happens here and there, man, to the best of us. Like, how do you handle that as a parent? Do you watch him in the back through the rearview mirror like my dad did and kind of give me that stare where I'm like, "Hey. Like, what do you do to kind of discipline him without overreacting?"
You know what? He was a really good evaluator of his own game. And he knew when he did, like, he had a pretty good idea when he didn't play well. And, sometimes I would ask him, like, what could you have done differently? Why didn't you have it tonight? Like, what do you have to do different? You know what? Hey, I'm not going to, and if this is as hard as you're going to play, you know what? I got that talk from my dad, right? Like, my mom and dad busted their tail to get me to 4:00 practice or whatever, right? And there's a 5:30 game. And they're like, my dad's looked at me one day and goes, "If this is as hard as you're going to work, you're going to have to find your own way there." And I'm like, got it. Mm-hmm. Right. But these guys, like, he always took a lot of pride in his game. And I usually didn't have to have a conversation with him.
Listen, I've got a son who's playing now, and like, I don't really like coaching him, to be honest. I mean, sometimes I do. Like, when I'm not on the bench, sometimes I wish I was on the bench, so you can kick him in the ass and get him going maybe if he's not. But sometimes it's good to have that. Some people never have that separation. They're constantly coaching him his entire life, and they don't want to separate, But was that, and you coached him at the NHL level, man. I mean, how do you not focus on him? Even in the NHL, you got a job to do. It's your job, but your son is playing. So how were you able to balance that?
As a kid growing up, the first time, and if you ask Adam where I got my start in coaching I coached him in Pee Wee. So that I wasn't going to get the team. So a buddy of mine, his son was playing. Adam was the only first-year player on the team. So that was the lockout year in 5. 05 was 04-05 was the lockout. Yeah. And so I was coming to an end in my career. So what I did is I coached with a buddy of mine, and his son was on the team. Adam was going to be the only first-year player on the team. But the best part was Adam at that point in time was still playing as a goalie skater. And he was one of the best goalies in the city as well.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And so
God.
when he was going through evaluation, right, there was 2 second-year goalies that were, these kids were good. And, I'll be biased, but I thought Adam was a better goalie at that point in time. But he knew that the only way that he was going to play on that team was that he would have to decide if he was going to be a goalie or a skater. So I said, well, you decide what you want to be. And he said, okay, I'm going to be a skater. So he played on that team. And what we did is in Calgary in the wintertime, you used to get one practice, one ice time, like one practice, one game a week. And sometimes it would be a half ice. And because I wasn't working, I went and I found all this extra ice. And I just said, we had the meeting at the beginning of the year, and I just said to the parents, I said, here's the deal. I'll help coach, but I don't want to hear from anybody complaining that their son missed or didn't get ice time or whatever. I said, you know what, I'll coach these guys and I'll try and, teach them. If you work, you play. You don't work, you're not playing. Simple, right? Put that in there. And if your kid's not going to back check, your kid's not going to play. Simple, right? So he might miss out on a shift or 2 in a game, but I'll guarantee you I'll make that up in ice time. And, we went and found ice time, and we went into a small community in just outside of Calgary, Blackie. And I got a Sunday night ice time, and it was at 7:00. And I had some of the parents complaining that first off, I think it was 5:15, right? And they said, well, hey, we like to do Sunday dinner. We like a family dinner. I said, okay, that's good. So then I moved it to 7:00 so they could probably have an earlier dinner. And they're like, like it's getting late. It's a school night. I said, hey, listen, I'm going to move forward with the kids that want to come. If it's too late for Johnny to come to practice, keep him at home. Make sure he's ready to go to school next day. But the guys that want to move forward, we're going to move forward. And we went and found all this ice, and it was unbelievable. We had a great year, and it was then the next year in the wintertime, I would never, I was coaching, or I would, I really enjoyed going and watching. But in the springtime, with him and his brother, we had a 91 team, we had a 93 team, and, I was coaching both of them. And, and I was fortunate. I had really good help. The one year I had with the 91s, I had Brian Screwlin and Dwayne Sutter. So there's my working with another one of the Sutters, right? Yeah. And then I had some really good coaches with the 93 team. So, that's where I spent time with them, was in the springtime. And we got rid of all the tournaments. And all we did was merge the teams. I had the 91s and the 93s, bring in the 92s, and we had one team. And I still run ice with a lot of those guys now that are pro.
Wow.
So it's a good, it was, so when I give you the advice, pick your poison, right? Like I let them go in the winter time, but we had fun in the springtime.
Yeah. How much ice would you get? Like how often were they on the ice? At 10, 11, 12,
spring?
13. Just in general, during the course of the season. Yeah. I mean, you're picking up extra ice on Sundays and whatever. Like, how many days a week are they skating? And when did you transition from him playing baseball and all that, where he was just basically focusing on hockey?
He transitioned from baseball at 14.
Okay.
Right. And that was, the conflicts started becoming too great. But the one rule that we did with all these kids was I always wanted them to be multi-sport athletes. So we had a rule, right? Play as many sports as you want. But if you're going to miss the hockey portion of it, and you're going to go to baseball, you're going to go to soccer, you're going to go to lacrosse, you have to call me, not your parents. Right. And that way there, the only thing I wanted to do is I wanted these guys to get comfortable communicating with an adult and being comfortable in their decisions. And I always told them, I said, hey, if it's a game or a practice, go to the game. Right. And if it's a game, pick whichever one you want, and you come back the next day and you're right back in with us, because that's what I believed in. Right. And that was trying to create a multi-sport athlete, not just a one sport athlete.
This might be kind of petty, but like the other day I'm hanging out with my buddies and their kids are cruising around, and some of the parents, one of the kids goes to the parents and was mad at them and called them by their first name. Hey, Jack, I know what to do. And I'm like, oh, God dang. Like, that's so disrespectful. But the pro level, when you're coaching Adam, like, what's he say to you? Father, I need more ice cream. Does he call you Dave?
Shut
Does he
up,
call
Dad.
you Coach? Like, what is it?
He'll call me Dave, right?
Dave.
And you know that's a whole nother dynamic, right? And this is, I get a call from I'm working in Brandon, and it just so happened to be it was COVID. Our league hadn't started yet, and we were getting ready to start in January. And Kelly McCrimmon had sold the team to the Brandon Wheat Kings. He had sold it to a local business guy in Brandon. And he would come in every day and ask the GM, where's my coach? Where's my coach? Where's my coach? Right. So I drove in from Calgary to Brandon in end of November, brought my staff in. We were preparing. And all of a sudden I get a call from Adam. He's going, Paul's going to call you. I'm like, what? Yeah, Paul's going to call you. He's looking to add a coach. I'm like, hold on here. Like what do you think? He goes, hey, I don't care. Like, I'm good with it, right? Like, it's no big deal. So I drive to Winnipeg a couple hours, sit down, interview with Paul. I've got, I'm preparing all this video. I've got Instat going and trying to pull up there, looking at Winnipeg a little closer, right? So I come in, I got my briefcase and like, I got my computer and I'm all ready to go, right? And I'm like, we're sitting here and going through the whole spiel. And the next thing, right, I said, so I got some video. He goes, I don't need video. Like, no video. I just wanted to talk to you. When are you coming? I said, well, you know what? I got to make one more call. I got to call Adam again. I just got to make sure he's all right with it, right? And you know what? It worked. Like, being an assistant, it worked. And, we had Jamie Comp on there that,
he's the best, man. I know Jamie really well.
Damn good player.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. And so he's a good player in your league
somewhere.
He plays pickup in St. Louis, and he
dominates
all of us.
Doesn't come off the
So
ice.
you know.
Right. And he did that in LA, and I'm sure he's got a league going now in Florida too, right?
Probably so.
Yeah.
So I let Jamie coach Adam. I was doing the PK, so I'd have to show video and all that. But he was a player. But the dynamic changed, right? Once I took over. And the unfortunate thing is that when I went from being the assistant to being the head coach, he really lost a voice in the room, right? And all of a sudden you have one of your better leaders now that doesn't have a voice because his dad's a coach, right? So I never felt it was a problem. And I give the guys a lot of credit in Winnipeg that they really were able, they did a great job. It wasn't an issue, but I knew I wasn't coming back. Right. I really felt that, it's great that you're a head coach in the National Hockey League and there's only 32 jobs and it was really exciting, but it wasn't right. And it wasn't right for Adam. And, you really take your kids at face value and you listen to what they say. And, when he makes a comment and he says, when I took over, he lost his dad through the winter. Right. So he didn't have someone, if things weren't going well, to lean on. Right. So that kind of resonated with me. Like I said, it was a tremendous opportunity. It was a great honor to work in Winnipeg, and I enjoy watching a lot of there's a lot of really good guys in that room. So it was, it was time to go. And, the next thing, you see Adam, now he's in the leadership group, now he's a captain. And that was something I felt that if I stayed there, I was holding him back.
Yeah.
I get that.
Well, he's thriving at it too. But did it ever get uncomfortable? Did you ever have to, because I'm curious, if you felt like you had to overcompensate and coach him harder to make it clear to the rest of the group that Adam is just one of the players. I'm not treating him like my son. So you felt like you had to overdo it unintentionally just to kind of make that point.
Nope. What I did is I had a meeting and I had just said early on is that, the way that we're going to coach this team, the way that I do things is I coach through the best players. And if the best players need to be shown on video in the group setting, then that's how it gets done. Mm-hmm. And, if it is Adam who is, it just happens to be Adam's night on video, then it's Adam's day on video, right? But just tried to make sure I wasn't going to overcompensate it, because then what you're doing is you're really bringing attention to the whole situation. we just tried to, I coached him like I coached everybody else. And, he had a role. And the best part was when I took over was he had a role. And his role was, he played against the other team's top guys, and that was established. He was first pair over on the PK, that was established. So, he would get time on the power play. When the power play wasn't going, he'd flip in, and that was Jamie's call. That wasn't my call, that was Jamie's call. Mm-hmm. So we just tried to, he got coached like everybody else, and that is something that, I can walk away and feel good about.
How does mom handle it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what, like it's hard now again, right? Like it was really good when we were on the same team because she didn't have to cheer for one or the other.
Right.
And now, and it's the same thing, right? Like I remember the first time in LA when I was coaching against him, and he scores a goal with 9 seconds left, right? In the first period, and you're kind of like, yes, and you're like, right, I won't swear on the podcast here, guys.
You can.
Dave, you're okay.
Cam hasn't cussed yet. It's there's adults.
I respect him. That's why.
I know.
so he scores here, right? And then sure enough, this year when we're playing them, he hasn't scored in 20 games. And he comes in and bangs home one, right? And then we play him 2 games in a row, and he scores again, and I'm like, what the heck? Like, what are you doing? Right? Like,
Dad.
Does he look at you when he skates past the bench?
Exactly.
Right? I kind of I pretend I'm looking at the monitor.
That's a good feeling, though, Dave.
Well,
that's a good feeling.
The camera's showing you. They want to see your reaction. And internally, how do you not feel good when your kid's scoring, especially in the National Hockey League?
Yeah.
But, like, what about when you're coaching him and could you have the father-son relationship, though? Could you guys go to dinner on the road? Could he call you, like, from his hotel room? Like, would he feel like he had to be secretive about it? And was he worried about what the other guys would think, man? Because it's human nature to think that way. Yeah. Like, there's nothing wrong if he did,
Hey, listen, I would not go for dinner with him on the road. I enjoy having dinner with the coaches.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
That is, that's our time.
Yeah.
And when we were in Winnipeg and his mom was commuting with COVID and that, we would have dinner once in a while. We might have had 4 dinners from November, mid-December. We might have had 4 dinners through the new year till when it was all over. And that was because his mom organized it, and I was told that I had to be there.
Yeah. You want to hang with the coaches, talk about the good players. No shit.
She's making the rules.
Yeah.
Hey, right?
Can I just ask you something about the Panthers back in the day? I know we're all over the place, but it's all good. But, we got a lot of tough guys that love the fighting back in the 90s and whatnot. But a player that you played with that was like the most underrated tough guy.
Paul Laws?
I knew you were going to. Yeah. You know what's up.
His name comes up a lot.
You know what's up. I mean, he didn't say much, didn't get much attention. Good player, leader, captain. God, he knocked guys out. Straight out.
His hand was like that. He couldn't close it, right? Like he had a claw and it was long. And I sat beside him in the room in Florida, right? And just a silent assassin.
Yeah.
But hey, the crazy thing with him was he was the 7th D in Florida. And we're playing the Ottawa Senators at the rink downtown. And Greg Smith, who has passed, Bird Dog broke a blade. And they didn't have his size blade at the rink. It was at the practice rink. And he broke it like in warm-up. So they couldn't go get a blade back in time. So Bird Dog was a healthy scratch. Paul went in. And was it Denny Vial?
Yeah.
And Losser had a fight with him. And Losser just like pumped him. Never come out of the lineup again.
Yep.
Right. And that's how he had, and he was a really hard guy to play against. And he was mean, but he was tough.
That's a tough way to go out, by the way, because the trainer doesn't have my damn skate blade,
Andy,
and now I lose my job.
That's a nightmare. That's a nightmare.
Somebody better fire that
Bird Dog.
Yeah, exactly. That's a tough one.
Oh man.
Hey, listen, when you played with Rod Brindamore when he was young, like, did you see him evolving into the player he became, and then having the leadership capability. You play with a lot of guys who are like GMs and coaches and players. I mean, you'll always have a job, Dave, just so you know.
Yeah,
you know too many people around the league, man. You're going to be in a good spot no matter what. But Brendan Moore specifically, I'm curious what you thought about him when he came in.
I roomed with him, and he was way ahead of everybody, right? Like this guy was a specimen then. He's a specimen today. Like he was a fitness freak beyond, right? And the old mindset was if you had energy to work out after a game, you didn't play hard enough, right? So early on when he came in, as he was programmed to, after games, he'd go in the weight room, he'd ride the bike, he'd lift weights, and he played his 19 minutes already, and he played really well, right? They locked the weight room post game because, guys, you lose a couple of games, you start looking at reasons, and hey, he's not working hard enough out on the ice if he can come in and do this, right? And like he was ahead of the curve, and I credit to him. He was very quiet, but he was, he was a really good player, and he was one of the guys, him and Curtis Joseph, that were offered as compensation to New Jersey.
Yep. For Scotty?
For signing Shanahan.
Oh, Shanahan. I'm thinking Stevens.
Right?
Yeah, Shanahan. Yeah.
Right. Scott Stevens, Lou Lamoriello wanted Scott Stevens. He didn't want Curtis Joseph and Rod Brindamore. Yeah. And the league ruled that Scott Stevens went there.
Yeah.
So, it worked out really well for Roddy. He had a great career, and he was an elite player.
What were you thinking when that whole thing went down? Losing Scotty. Were you like, whoa? Like,
man,
what just happened here?
I finally got this guy on my side.
I know, dude. I know.
Right? Like he used to chase me around. I'm like we sit beside each other now, right? We drive to the rink, and hey, this guy's my pal, and now I got to go play against him again, right? But that was a shocker of a day, right? Like we were at the Blues golf tournament. I think at Norwood. Is there a golf course, Norwood?
Oh yeah, Norwood Country Club.
Hell yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I think that's where the Blues tournament was.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a black cloud had just came over, and thunder and all that came, right? And then the decision came, and like that just shook the team. And that year, the year before, with Scotty, was probably Jeff Brown's best year, right? As a defenseman.
Yeah.
And I think we had 102 points. Chicago was 1, we were 2. And it was because of Scotty, that the influence that he had.
I want to say 91, 92, right? That was my favorite team ever.
I know.
For the Blues.
I know.
Because you had Holy doing his thing too. I mean, it was just, you guys had everything. I thought that was going to be the team that actually, won the cup. It's always interesting that it's the 2019 team that wins the first ever Stanley Cup, that just,
But they had to get to last place.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Is that
they had to get to last place to make the rise, right? to get in there and that, right? And I watched that team because they beat Winnipeg out.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Schwartzy.
Right? I know. And and Winnipeg had the home ice.
Yeah, that's right.
We were scared here, man. I think in St. Louis.
Perron may have scored at the last second.
Was it Game 5?
Schwartz did too. Which one?
Was it Game 5? Did they win in Winnipeg?
Yeah, they won games 1, 2, and 5 in Winnipeg.
Yeah, because Alexander Steen.
Because I was at Game 5.
Yeah.
Was that when Steiner broke his stick, goes to the bench, Bozak as a righty comes off, gets the puck off the wall,
turned it over on the wall.
Throws it in front, and Schwartzy just taps it in.
Midair, yeah. You ever talk to Schwartz about that?
That's why I don't like Schwartzy.
There it is.
I was young. I was wondering, right? Like, damn, like.
Yeah.
He got me as I was a fan. I was watching those days, right? But no,
just watching a kid play.
Hey, before I let you go though, like who's the best team in the league right now? Like, I mean, how do you? Because we haven't. I mean, Vegas and Dallas is the only real like even series that we're seeing, and that started off 2-0 for Vegas, and Dallas has been able to fight back. But a lot of these other series have been sweeps, 3-1. And you got Winnipeg, obviously, in Colorado. Winnipeg won the first game of that series. I'm thinking, okay, maybe this is going to be Kyle Connor and these guys, along with Adam. Like, this is going to be their year. Hellebuck, obviously, having a great season. They had a great year as a team, but how do you see the playoffs playing out? Like, who's the most impressive team for you? Who do you like watching the most?
Well, like I've watched Colorado close, and we were in Denver for 4 and 5, or for games at 3 and 4, and I'll tell you what, they're rolling.
Yeah,
they're high end skill, but they've got really good balance. Like right now, they've added some size. They haven't gotten any slower. And their goaltender has been good. You look at the Dallas Vegas series. That's big boy series.
Big boy,
right?
Hell yeah.
That is for me. That's the first round of the playoffs, right? That's usually what it's about. Is that battle, that war? Obviously Florida looks really good. Their goaltending has been, how about that save he makes spinning around and hitting it with the back of his hand on an empty net, right? Like
Dumba, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, right. Like, so pucks seem to be hitting him right now, and then he's making unbelievable saves. And you see Barkov raise his level when the stakes get higher. And he's one of the probably most underrated guys in the league that you never hear anything about. The Rangers are rolling.
Yeah.
But how can you argue with what Carolina's doing, right? So they're like you said, right? When we first got on, this is a really exciting year. Like the regular season was great, but the unfortunate thing is in the playoffs, there's a lot of really good teams that are going home early, right? And they should be seeing later. They should be playing later on down the road. But just the way that it works this year, that some good teams and they're all in the same division.
And when you see like Makar block a shot, then he spins off a guy, then he dangles a guy, then dangles another guy, and he goes down, and he rips a 92-mile-an-hour wrist shot, goes top shelf. Or you just roll your eyes like, damn it.
Yeah, that was right in front of me.
Yeah. Like, what do you do?
And you play. You ever play against anybody like him? I mean, I know Paul Coffey's the first guy that comes to mind, but like, was he even like what we're seeing with Cale Makar?
The big thing with Makar, like he is so dynamic, and like he does things, like he goes off one edge on it, like and he does it so effortlessly. But then he seems to be off balance and he just launches a laser, right? And like the shot, like not only does he do things quick, but just he's got an unbelievable shot that I don't think he gets a lot of credit for either.
Yeah, he's special,
and
man.
you got McKinnon
yelling at everybody.
McKinnon.
Yeah, but who's really silent, Is
who?
Is that Nikushkin?
Oh yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
It's a pretty good. You get Niku, like they run two guys like 29 and Rantanen.
Oh yeah. And
then they just cycle wingers through them, right? Like these guys, they're engines that the amount of ice time that they can handle.
They play 24 minutes.
100 miles an hour.
It's crazy.
Nichushkin, I know he's had some personal issues, whatever, but and they are a different team with him in the lineup.
Damn right.
He's a horse, man.
Yeah, and he's a big body guy, goes right to the net, but he can score off the rush too, right? Like he's another guy that really fits into what they're doing, and that's what makes playoffs, right? Yeah. Different guys stepping up and having their day.
Well, I'm sure Adam appreciates you pumping Colorado's tires when I ask you who the best team is.
Yeah, I know. And we're going to tell him that too, by the way.
All I'm trying to do is deflect.
There it is.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the coach coming out. I'm just saying how good one team is so the other team has no pressure.
I know.
There it is.
There you go.
I get the game.
And Florida, listen, they need like a guy like Sam Bennett. Like these are the guys that are important to, they need to get him back in the lineup and stuff. All those teams you mentioned. I mean, you just mentioned the Rangers. You mentioned Florida. You're mentioning Carolina. I mean, Dallas, Vegas, Colorado, any of these teams could end up in the Stanley Cup final in their respective conference, and nobody would be surprised by any of them.
Yep.
Rangers, whatever, any of them. So
yeah,
Anyway,
that's what makes this year so good.
Yeah, it has been great.
All right, go jump on a boat or whatever.
Dave, go do your
that
thing.
Lake is
go
calling
eat some
you.
seafood.
Go down to the market. Go down to the market and catch some salmon or something.
Go do your thing, man.
Tough life, guys.
Yeah,
Tough life.
I know.
I get you on that. Hey, you're great, man. Appreciate you coming on,
awesome.
Dave.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me,
Tell
guys.
Adam we said
awesome.
hey, and we're rooting for him.
We're gonna get him on too.
We're rooting for him.
You got to help us do that.
He'd like that.
He's got
Hey,
some
that'd be
fans
no
in
problem.
us. Right on. All right,
All
Davey.
right.
See you,
Thanks,
big
Dave.
dog.
Appreciate it, guys.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye. The Cam and Strick podcast is brought to you by Bellman. BEHLMANN. Bellman Automotive. Located where?
Troy,
Missouri. Buick GMC on one side of the street. Right on the other side, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Get yourself some new wheels in time for the winter. That was Dave Lowry.
I like Dave, man. He's
Why
a
are
good
you
dude.
mumbling to yourself like you're
No,
like a
'cause you
you're like an old lady at the old
Because
folks'
I gotta
home.
like listen to this thing because Andy doesn't listen, so I'm gonna have to listen over and like delete his prolonged bullshit.
Cam saying
Everybody thinks like they text me and they're like, dude, like just speed shit up with Andy a little bit. I'm like, I will.
Oh yeah.
Like Andy loves to hear himself talk, but no one else
Cam's
does.
upset because he got chirped by that Google caller
About me liking boats. That's
on
your
the Merrimack
buddy.
River.
That was a text message from your nerd buddy at Creeper Records. Bunch of nerds.
Oh, I'm bringing you to the CCRCs. It'll remind you of the Bahamar.
Be watching The View in there, man.
The Baja Mar.
You'll be listening to Whoopi Goldberg, be like, yes, that's how I think.
Do you know that Shaq kicked her out of a restaurant?
Did he?
Yeah.
Good.
Why?
Sucks.
She really.
He's annoying.
She is too.
Whoopi Goldberg? What do you mean?
She have kids and stuff? Or?
Who cares? Hope not. Hopefully she didn't
Whoopi?
procreate. Yeah.
Is that her name?
Whoopi, yeah.
She used to be a good actress back in the day.
I'll give you that. She was hilarious.
Hell of an actress.
She was great in like Ghosts and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't mean that you know
I
what
didn't
you're
think
talking
Ben Affleck was very good, by the
about.
way.
No, I heard he was terrible.
Terrible in the
I heard
role.
he was terrible.
Like he didn't even get it. And then he just walked off the stage.
He didn't want to be there. Then don't be there then. If you don't want to be there, don't
Do
be
you
there.
think he's bigger than everybody on that stage?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah. Yep.
Bigger than Tom?
No, Kim Kardashian's the biggest one.
Yes, she is.
Unfortunately, that's how it is. She's the most popular person.
Very talented. I think she got.
She's so talented.
I think
yeah,
she
you
went
would.
to-
That's how Andy thinks. Like Andy thinks Kim Kardashian is talented. She's got a big ass and she's good looking.
I think she went.
And she was miserable.
She went to
last night.
law school. I think.
Oh, she's so smart. But
You know what Tom Brady said to her?
what?
The only thing more terrifying than you being here is the fact that your kids are at home with their dad.
Who's her dad?
Kanye West.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Her kid's dad.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Her
right.
stepdad is Caitlyn Jenner, and she had some funny comments to make about Caitlyn in regards to Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, you love that. I don't.
just go watch it.
Okay.
I need to watch the whole thing today.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I heard.
Oh, it's really good, and it made me want to be a roaster. So
Good. Roast yourself.
should I roast you, dude?
I don't remember.
I can just roast you. Talk about Dave Lowry for a second.
Dave was great.
I'd bring him on my staff all day long.
100% bring him on my staff, dude. Every question we asked, dude, I learned something from him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Great answers.
He didn't talk in circles or anything like that.
No.
Like, he really was. Everything was thought out. He's a good guy. I like his son. His son plays the right way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just kind of like asking. I did ask him about what would you say to kids, like some of these parents that are harder on their kids.
Yeah, he
that aren't trying.
gave some great.
But he did say, my kid never not tried. And so I'm like, okay, but that's not the reality. You know what I mean?
Did he
like
say that?
Yeah, something to that effect. And I'm thinking, okay, I get that because
No, I don't think he said that. He said, you know what? There was times when he didn't have it, and I had to.
But Adam's in a different category. Adam's a professional. He's a captain. Most kids are 99% of the kids are not like 99.999% of the kids are not like that.
Yeah, but
so
when
like,
he's
what about the kids that
12,
don't?
he probably had a game where he didn't try as hard.
But
and
not
didn't.
often. But I'm saying, like, he just said that. He said it didn't happen that often, so I didn't need to do much.
Didn't happen that often.
But it
did.
happens, so I want to know what
Gave a
you
great
would
answer.
do. But what would you do if it did happen?
Yeah.
Because you see these guys and how they talk to their kids, just like Mitch Marner's dad in that weird video. Like, that was so odd how he was. I'm like, that's kind of not the way to do it. So I was just curious about that. But a lot of those questions, man, he was totally cool, and I would hire him if I had.
Is it okay to be hard on your kids too, though? Like,
Yeah, to a certain point. You know what I mean? To a certain point.
I've seen NHL players be really
shit,
hard
dude.
on their
Really
kids,
bad.
dude.
Really bad.
And
Really
I don't think there's much wrong with that. Like,
Just depends.
It depends how far you take it.
It depends
on what you're saying.
You're talking about the guys you're talking about, how their kids doing.
Pretty good.
Are they?
Well, they all got drafted and playing professional hockey.
Yeah, well, they get drafted. But how are they now? The ones that are really hard on them. It didn't work out.
If it didn't work out, it's not for lack of sometimes things get in the way, injuries and stuff like that.
There is guys that are really, really hard. And you talk about it all the time. How they're too hard on their kids. And I see that too. And
I don't know if I said that.
No, we've seen that for sure. A little too hard. Because when you're...
Here's my thing. I think when you're really, really hard on them and you know deep down that they just don't have it anyway, like, I think that's when it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, dude, like, why are you flipping out on this kid? Like, he's not playing in the NHL.
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
So you just got to know your kid if he can take it or not.
I know. And where he's at. And where he can be.
Right.
You know what I mean? You want him here, but he's not.
He's just struggling just to make the AAA team.
I know. So just...
And he's 15.
Evaluate him in that sense.
And he's 17.
Don't evaluate him to this kid up here. Like, he's not.
Right.
So what's he doing with his skill set?
Right.
You're yelling at him like he's supposed to be this.
Right.
But he's that.
Right.
That's all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. His nickname's Pie.
I call him that.
Why not?
Because somebody else made that up, or he's a big Davey boy.
But they fired Dave Hakstol. And what did Ronnie Francis say? We're keeping Dave.
Yeah.
Saying, well, he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, they're looking for a coach.
We need him.
Yep. Peter was saying that too, man. They're evaluating everything.
See what happens.
You know. Interesting. I'd like to coach out there. Cool
I'd like to live out there in a heartbeat. Dude.
I would if I had money.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I know you think it's kind of like liberal and stuff like that.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
And, well, you would fit in perfect. But I'd be a little masculine.
Oh, really?
A little masculine.
What's the word when you're overly masculine? With a toxic?
I'd be way too
toxic masculinity.
Way too toxic.
I think you'd have that.
Yeah.
Firstform.com is not toxic masculinity.
No, it's
that
not.
is just
it's masculine.
Yes.
And the women are strong too.
Yes, they are.
Damn right.
Strong-willed. Strong women.
Strong women. You're damn right.
Career-oriented.
Yep, exactly.
Family-oriented.
Yep. I saw people talk about First Form everywhere I went in Bahamas, dude.
Hell yeah.
Looking at me like, what's up? Like,
what's
up?
Like
you're okay, what's up? Pretty cool.
I get that too. Firstform.com/Cam-and-Strick, baby. Get all their products and the apparel. I love the apparel. I love the level 1. I'm going to go home and make a shake right now. I told you that before. So I'm not drinking, by the way, for several days until I go to Mexico.
Oh, I'm stopping, dude, tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow's my... Well, it's still part of my,
why
day
not
off.
today?
I feel
because you're still on vacation.
Yeah.
Oh, Cam's still getting worn out. He's like, oh my God, my first day back, I just got worn out.
Good trip.
I went out in the sun. I went out for the sun.
And he goes to Creve Coeur Racket Club.
Oh, man. Illinois Recovery Center, Cam.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Hey, if you know, you know. And somebody in your family certainly needs it. Your friends, they will take care of you. They're right there in Swansea, Illinois. Very easy to get to from St. Louis. Mm-hmm. You could call up Chrissy Pondoff, Eric Conley. Eric Conley is one that runs the whole show.
Yeah.
But I've been there, talked to the patients the other day. And again, you could just see the different levels that they're at, you know, whether the weekend or they're 3 weeks in.
Yeah.
Just a joy that they have. They're the 3 to 4 weeks in, man. You can see it in their eyes. It's a difference. And they're ready to get out and they're ready to get back to work and get back to their families and stuff like that. Now their lives are back. So they do a damn good job over there. Chrissy Pondoff, Eric Conley, Illinois Recovery Center. Damn good stuff.
You know, I talked to Brant Myers the other day.
Yep.
And Mizey, his hockey player's hockey name is Mizey, right? Mm-hmm. Say hi to Mizey.
What's up, man?
He watches every episode.
Yeah, I know.
Every
He's
episode.
cool as hell, man. Through big lefts, baby. Big lefts. Brent Myers, man. I remember playing in Albany, and I was always hanging out with Rob Skurlak, and he was talking about you, Brent. He said how cool you are.
Brant.
So, you know. Motherfucker, I know. Okay. God damn it.
So
Jesus Christ.
He is starting a podcast.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's going to be like about recovery and living with recovery and staying sober and continuing that battle every single day. And so I want to wish him the best of luck with that, man. And we'll always be here to support his podcast.
I follow him.
And he loves the fact that we have a recovery center on our podcast.
Yeah, of course.
Because it's important for people.
Absolutely.
You know.
Shout out, baby.
Say what's up to Mizey.
Mizey, what's up?
Illinois Recovery Center, 800-743-0971. So you can give them a call. IllinoisRecoveryCenter.com is the website. You can always reach out, and we'll certainly hook you up with getting in touch with the right people, man.
Right on.
Eric and Chrissy. Christy just had an anniversary, I think. Happy anniversary to him. He had something. He was out of town for something.
He's 10 years sober. We talked about that.
10 years sober.
We talked about that 2 podcasts ago.
Yeah, I remember that. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
It is a big deal.
He came on my radio show, talked about it too.
I saw, what's his name? Our boy played for the Austin Watson. They just acknowledged him in the dressing room at the end of the season.
Good.
Because he hit another
milestone.
5 years,
Milestone.
or 2 years,
Good.
or 3 years.
Yeah, I thought I saw that too. Yeah, good job, man.
I love seeing that
Goddamn
type
right.
of shit, dude.
Absolutely. Not easy to do.
At Bellman, you got no what?
Swinging dicks. None of that. None of that.
But you got Buick GMC, you got Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on the other side of the street, all located where?
Troy, Missouri.
Seattle Danny boy.
Danny, what up?
And Kenny?
Kenny.
And Dale.
God damn it, Dale. Get your shit
work.
together and get back to fucking work. Dale. What's up, baby? We love you guys, man.
Hat launch, baby, and hatlaunch.com, Cam.
Man, oh man, I wore a hat all goddamn weekend.
Yeah.
I just
It wore 'em out.
It wore me out. Drinking in the sun wears you out, Andy. Andy don't think so.
No, I know it does, actually.
I mean, I don't know what your chirp is.
No, it
Like,
does.
Good God.
It does.
I'm dying.
No,
man.
drinking,
You keep prolonging this
drinking
fucking podcast.
outside all day long is one of the tiredest
Fucking
things.
brutal.
Most tiring
fun.
things you can do.
And the way home was kind of it was just long. It was just long, man.
Yeah, I know.
People on your face all fucking time.
But get a customized hat. So the number one source for customized hats in North America. Nobody does it better. They make shirts too, hoodies,
they do all kinds of stuff.
whatever you need, and they fit your head the right way.
Yeah. Damn right.
What does
Even
my
your
hat-
little
what does my hat say?
Your little dinky ass.
What does
fucking
my hat say?
Yank.
Every hat tells a story.
It does.
What does this tell?
Did I drink a lot?
No, that's not the
Yoink.
story.
What do you think the story means?
What's the story?
I don't know. I don't know, Auntie. I just said it one time
Yeah.
when I opened the beer up.
But listen, put your brand and your business on a hat, no matter what it is. Could be a sports team, school, business, whatever it is, fantasy football, whatever you're looking to do. Cam plays fantasy football.
No, I don't. I don't play any fantasy stuff.
You can put it on a hat, and with Hat Launch and hatlaunch.com, check out their website. We can get you personally in touch with Danny too,
Absolutely.
if you're a business out there.
They're the best of the best.
All right, we hope everybody has a great rest of their week. Sorry for coming out a day later this week. We'll be back on our regularly scheduled program again for our release the following Tuesday. So just now because of vacations.
Yeah.
And give Cam the necessary time to
Wow, it just would have been
recuperate.
horrible in my room doing it, man. It's
Yeah.
not worth it.
No,
so
it's
might
not.
as well
No, this
pull
is
it.
way better. I'm glad you did it.
Oh,
and I'm
shit.
glad you're back, dude.
It's good to be back.
Yeah.
Good to be back. God.
See you, everybody.
All right, see you dudes.